Hello, everybody. We are back with some more Legally Cute. I am super excited for this episode this time around. I have my beloved friends and family. It's the cute Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition Rando episode, and I'm looking forward to showcasing the master seed of the Ori randomizer as a co-op, and it's synced. And that is going to be a lot of fun to watch between the runners, as well as we have a very, very wonderful commentary on the line. I just wanted to kind of just remind everybody before we get into the show that tomorrow is the last day for any of those Flame Fatale submissions to turn in for any of those, runs that you want to showcase, show off some of those glitches, do it in front of a beautiful community and everything like that. So just a reminder for that. But we will be getting into this episode for Legally Cute. And I wanted to say that everybody is adorable. I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I am ready to showcase this Ori randomizer co-op sync. And it's going to be one of the best times ever because I really love Ori and I really love my friends. So I wanted to have everyone say hi on the call. We will introduce everyone. Right now we have Fresh Maniac.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. This is like my favorite random.
Well, I'm excited to watch the master. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have Smashy SR. Hello Smashy. Hello. And then we have our commentary, the wonderful Covert Muffin. I am super happy you're here.
Hello, I am super happy to be here as well. It's really funny because I've speedrun a lot, but this absolutely is the game that I've played the most out of all of them. So I'm really excited to help my dear friends as well showcase off this incredible randomizer.
Well, whenever the two Fresh and Smashy are ready to go, just let us know with a countdown, and we are ready to start the timer.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
Alrighty.
You want to count us down?
Yeah. Me? Or Smashy? Or you?
Or Smashy. Whoever wants to take the reins.
Yeah.
All right, who's doing it?
Smashy.
100, 99, 98. Oh, wait. That's too long.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
Cool. So this is Ori in the Blind Forest. If you've never seen the game itself, basically, it's a 2D Metroidvania platform.
Oh, no.
We also have something.
No.
Oh, yes. Known as Random Spawn.
Oh, God. No.
Wait, start with that. Oh, boy. This is... So, we didn't know where we were going to start with this one.
Great.
Oh, my bane...
Okay.
My bane link did it already. Oh, no. Okay. This is fine.
Just a heads up for tech, this might go overestimate.
Okay, hold on. Okay, do I just save right away?
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I leveled up immediately. Wait, we have a grenade. Okay,
Yeah, no,
okay. This is fine. We're fine.
Okay. Well,
yeah, honestly, that grenade find is absolutely massive for our runners. So there's a couple of skills in the game that have hard locks. So basically, you can't check certain pickups without finding those skills. And grenade is one of the two skills. So actually finding that in Master Seed is going to be really important. But basically, the mode that they're playing on is the third most cursed mode that they could potentially run. And it's like not by very, very much. So in a Master Seed, finding Bash, which as you see, they're grabbing on these projectiles, right? They're shoving Ori in one direction, the projectile in another, and then doing these frame perfect tricks in order to be able to redirect the projectiles and follow along with them, right? Like, so with Bash itself, we can check almost every single pickup on the map with Bash alone, which is really, really cursed in a seed where it expects you to be able to do cursed things in general. So in a Master Seed, the thing that you never want to see when you start a seed is Bash. And yeah, as you can hear from the runners, this is why.
So I was gonna say the randomizer has a what we call a free bash. So you have like a hotkey you can press, but I don't use that. So just as So mine are like
I do, thankfully. Okay, wait. So I need to get this baneling off the ground so I can start juggling. But unlike Smashy, I actually really like bash seeds for the most part because you do have to be a little more creative with them. There's like a lot of things that you can do with bash, and grenade helped us a lot right at the start because we now have a projectile that we can create to bash around where we want to. So that means we don't have to rely on enemies being around or lanterns or whatever. I would love to see what Smashy is doing right now.
Yeah, so on the left.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Smashy. Yeah, so on the left, Smashy is like trying to get through this area, but like one thing our runners don't have is something known as wall interaction. So the first skill you get in a normal playthrough is wall jump, which allows you to like jump off of walls. And that like seems very trivial, but like in all honesty, in the randomizer, our runners, especially on master logic, they probably will never find wall jump as they just go through in general. So it's like, it's really difficult in a lot of sections, especially like starting in Mount Horu in particular, which is the very end of the game normally, to be able to get through certain areas. So on the left, Smashy is just continuing through this puzzle. They are going to do some of it normally, and this is honestly like a really good call from them. But here, what they can just do is end up double bashing this boulder, which allows us to basically change the direction that Ori is going to go, but not the direction that we send an object or projectile or enemy. So nicely done from Smashy. And yes, they're able to check that pickup. So really cool thing, actually, is that after you double bash like a tumbleweed or a boulder, it actually just removes the collision. So you can just literally walk through it with Ori. And it's like a really funny glitch that doesn't really come up in the normal game, but it does come up in Rando in a number of significant locations. But on the right, we see Fresh trying to work through this room here. And I guess just really quickly to explain that we saw in Mount Horu itself that the lava in the main room, the lava pillars, are not there. And this was an intentional Rando development decision that was done by the devs in order to just sort of make Mount Horu a lot more versatile and a lot more interesting with multiple playthroughs of the Rando. Because normally all you would do is you would go to the very top and then you would finish the top rooms, then you would go down. But here, our runners have that creative freedom to really pick whatever room that they want to do in order to find pickups.
Okay, I'm really bad at door warps. I should probably just be going to like the top rooms in Horu are the worst, but they're also the most lucrative. I don't like that trajectory. Actually,
isn't logic. No.
Yeah, so like this is the struggle without wall interaction on the right, as we see like Fresh trying to decide where they go, right? Because if they can't grab onto walls, right, then you just you just fall down, right? And so like with Bash Grenade, it is very, very good for building a lot of height and building a lot of distance, but then at the same time, yeah, if you don't hit that exact distance that you need, then yeah, then you fall down. And in Master Logic, right, like it expects us to be able to utilize these skills, utilize this tech in incredibly difficult and incredibly complex ways, right? On the left, we see Smashy going for this ridiculous double bash shape, but the red spikes not Smashy just misses the like very last double bash that they needed.
There's a crystal. Oh no!
Shoot. Okay. I will get this.
So
I want to die to this laser.
I believe too. And to provide some context, this is like the hardest dungeon. So having no wall interaction and having just, I mean, it's good that we had the grenade and bash, but I would say that the no wall interaction is just kind of.
Oh no!
It's impressive that both of these runners are able to do this dungeon because of the limited abilities they have, as well as the wall interaction.
Well, don't speak too soon. We haven't done it yet.
I mean, so that's another thing. I did have a question on. Do we plan on doing all of Haru, or are we just kind of doing some of it?
We're trying to get progression right now. That's all.
Yeah, right now I guess we can leave. We have we can go out to Haru Fields.
Oh, true. True, we could.
But we can't get out from there, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Come on.
So,
Right. I guess, yeah, I'll see how this goes in a couple more times, but
Yeah, so basically what
this was my fault.
our runners mentioned that word progression, and in a randomizer, if you aren't familiar with speedrunning a randomizer, right, like lowering your average time is sort of king. And so like what progression means is that they're just looking for something to unlock additional pickups that they can check, right? Additional areas on the map, additional skills maybe to be able to break certain things or get a little bit higher, get a little bit further. So in Ori Rando in particular, there are a few different forms of progression. The first one is going to be the most obvious, which is finding a skill, right? Finding another skill, right? Wall interaction to literally be able to touch walls. Then the randomizer expects you to be able to check additional pickups with that one skill. But also progression in Ori Rando, because it's incredibly complex, could be a resource, right? It could be more health, it could be more energy, it could be just honestly levels, more ability cells to be able to spec in and increase Ori in sort of like their passive abilities in augmented ways and in stronger ways. But then also like what progression can be is finding a teleporter. Right, finding a teleporter literally to just get access to another area on the map. And this is the problem, and this is why I was like laughing so hard when the seed started and they started with Bash, is because in a master seed, right, when you get Bash, that really unlocks, once again, like the grand majority of pickups on the map. So really, there are a bunch of different forms of progression that our runners could find in a pickup that could just like unlock like an extra number of dozens of pickups. And that's the problem with the Master Seed, right? Because our goal is to activate every single skill location because this is set to Forcetrees, which is just a fun constraint. But really with the skill set, our runners are almost capable of actually going into and finishing the final escape of the entire run. But yeah, Water Vein Shard find is nice. That is going to basically be a separate little bit that they need to find, right? So 3 dungeons in Ori: Mount Horu, which we started in, Forlorn Ruins, which we never want to have to go to, but we could potentially go to, which is unlocked by finding Gumon's Heel. And then Water Vein is going to actually get us access to Ginso Tree, which we do need to go to because it does have a skill location. So for fun, they have the shard system activated, which basically sets 5 of these little shards around the map. So 5 pickups on the map are going to be these Water Vein shards, and we need at least 3 of them to be able to get access to Ginso Tree.
I think I'm just going to like try to get this pickup a few more times and then just go to R1. The big stuff is always in R1.
Oh, that's why I was checking R4. It's also in R4.
Yeah. I'm in R4 right now trying to get the lower one, but I'm having struggles.
Yeah, same.
If I can get this elemental to give me a nice shot, it might be okay. Oh.
Yeah, so we saw Smashy doing this earlier. So on the right, we see them just like crouching down to try and get a shot. Yeah, and double bashing. It can be really, really, really difficult. And so he got a really weird bug. I'm not going to explain it because it's like very nuanced, but it is consistent.
Are you talking about redirect?
Yeah. So like
I didn't get the frame perfect one. I'm just like,
oh, okay.
It's really hard to stall without wall interaction here, so I'm trying to like. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this.
Well, that is not exactly helpful. Yeah, so if I shoot straight down, I will go too fast for the shot, and if I shoot straight up, then I won't fall fast enough to get the shot before it hits the spikes. So I'm just like trying to calibrate so I keep up with it.
Word. Yeah, I can't express enough, folks. Like, we see our runners still in Mount Horu, but like without wall interaction, this is just so cursed, like trying to get through. Like, we see Smashy on the left, like just trying to take this elemental shot and do some absolutely bonkers things in Mount Horu itself. And like, this is all for one pickup. No, Smashy! Oh, it's okay.
These enemies too right now. Yeah, so basically another thing that's interesting to kind of point out with the way that the interaction with Bash works with some of these enemies, especially like the elemental shots, you can like use elemental shots. It's just like the velocity. I don't know, the momentum. You gotta time it really well, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like every projectile, every enemy has their own like speed, and so like you have to, in order to be able to do this tech like consistently, you have to be really comfortable with every single different enemy, different projectile.
Oh my god, grenades, don't break these! Sign hates targeting what I want. Please,
I actually didn't know that. I actually did not know that, to be completely honest.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm sorry. It's just so this is very, very impressive. Like all of this is very impressive because yeah, without that wall interaction, it's just I don't know what to say.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm gonna do here.
Pain.
Oh, I wish I had energy here. Is there a crystal by the mapstone altar?
Yes. Yeah, there is.
I screwed it up though. Okay. That's good. That helps a lot.
Yeah, word.
I can have a waypoint.
Yeah, so for people who are unfamiliar with this game, basically on the bottom center of the game screens, you can see the user interface. So the blue sort of
why? Sorry.
The blue dots are going to be their energy, and they need to spend one full energy in order to save the game. So basically, Fresh on the right was just wanting to set a save so that they could retry this difficult segment without having to do the earlier portion every single time. So really, like, getting that energy crystal, breaking it to refill their energy was absolutely massive for them.
And that's another thing to kind of point out too. Their health and energy is so low.
Yeah.
Like this.
I'm finally at R1.
Yay.
Surely.
Yo, GG.
GG's.
Surely there will be something.
Yeah. Well, I'm crossing fingers at this point.
It's always an R1. It's always an R1.
Yes. Well, and another thing about R1 is that it has like the most pickup density in the whole entire dungeon.
No, I dropped. Okay.
I hope this won't screw up my ability to get to Toru Field stuff, actually. I didn't think about that. I think it'll be okay.
Smashy, you're so close!
I know.
Each of these attempts.
Fresh, I think you'll be okay. Maybe we have maybe some
What's
free
up?
grenade action going on in the horror fields when you go outside.
So what?
Why is this rock back?
Doing like throw the grenades and pray that you can get over.
Oh shoot.
Oh god, R1 is actually really cursed without wall interaction or any sort of way to sustain yourself in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
It's not even a micro ledge. It's just like a full ledge on the right side.
Oh wow.
You can just stand there.
I did not know that.
Right at the bottom.
Oh man.
Okay, so a keystone though, that's not really helpful. I'll have to get to the next section.
Oh,
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I can save there. I kind of want to. I can. All right. Nice.
You can also zombie Fresh. You can zombie Ori, by the way, Fresh, with the save anywhere if you're familiar.
I am. I'm not sure I want to, but I could.
Yeah, you can always back up your save as well. So like you can get the ability cells back that ends up being nothing.
Oh, that.
But yeah, so really, like for our runners, they have all these different forms of tech at their disposal, not just basically how they use the skills in the game, but ability cells, in all honesty, are the most useful and most powerful resource in the entire randomizer, which is really funny because in the base speedrun itself, like we have our experience, we have our ability cells all just sort of mapped out in really particular ways. But in the rando, there are thousands. There are thousands of different sequence breaks, different tricks that you never see in a normal speed game or a normal speed run of the base game itself. So like just being aware of like how to maintain those resources really just includes ability cells in particular and makes them the most powerful resource and adds a lot of weight versus the like a normal speed run of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, nice Fresh. Oh,
Okay. This is actually really awkward.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I have to. Actually, I guess I don't know if I have to, but it seems like I have to throw a grenade out ahead of this lantern, so I have something to stall in the air between that and the elemental.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like I can hang in the air long enough otherwise to get the elemental shot. So
I promise everybody being in pain right now. This is all cute that we're sharing the pain together. I promise.
I wish I had more energy again.
This is really hard. Like honestly, like
It is, yeah.
it's I can't. I'm gonna repeat that, but it's just I cannot emphasize enough that this is without that wall interaction. Even with the like, let's say if they just even had like another ability, it would be great.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of different abilities, right? So we haven't quite talked about like what our runners could potentially find that would be really beneficial. But honestly, besides like wall interaction, right? Like wall jump, climb, just allowing them to touch a wall and not just instantly fall down. That could be massive, but then also air retention, right? And there's multiple skills in the game that allows us to stay in space for longer. And that honestly could be probably the most powerful and important thing that they could find. So like double jump or glide, right? In particular, double jump would be great, but it's also like the second most cursed skill that you could find early on in a master seed that our runners are currently doing. The first most cursed is something they started with, which was Bash. As we can see on the left, Smashy just continuously trying to babysit this one elemental shot in order to get up. But yeah, nice. I love that play to just place a save down. In order, to be able to just sort of reset their position, reset for another attempt to continue to move upwards in a dungeon. As Rue said, is probably the hardest one to start on, in all honesty, especially for a master seed that starts with Bash, which is Mount Horu itself.
Another great option right now would just be a teleporter to get us anywhere else but here.
Yeah, absolutely. Another teleporter would it be?
Yeah, so like they're starting in the final dungeon in a normal playthrough, right? So like if they get that Glades teleporter, that is honestly going to be absolute bliss. Just any sort of early game area, because they do have Bash, they have Grenade, and so this is actually going to allow them to get access to pretty much the entire map, right? Like
I'm just throwing. Okay, I can do it though.
I feel you, brother. Oh no.
Oh, that was weird. I got a rare. You can occasionally get a double bash on a grenade. I don't know why. It doesn't. But normally, when you bash off of a grenade, it explodes. But every so often, you'll get one that sticks around.
Yeah. So if you are the furthest possible distance from a grenade when you bash off of it, then it actually will not explode the projectile.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So you can't actually redirect the grenade, but you can actually bash off of it with Ori, and actually sets it in a very weird state.
Oh my god, that level up is
okay. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
The more you know.
All right, now. Okay. Mini cutscene scaring me.
Let's reveal. Hopefully.
I think I need to do this to get. I think this will restore my energy and health before I try for the next pickup.
I actually,
maybe
honestly,
it'll just save me.
I can't.
It might
remember.
just save.
I think if
it saves me, that would be completely fine too. Because because as long as I have a save, then I don't have to redo the previous action. But I have nowhere to stand up here. I don't know if I.
How many? I know we can throw out 3 grenades at once, right?
Yeah, but. You can't get much higher with it, is the thing.
Come on.
Yeah, correct. I think you might be able to do it with 2 bashes.
Yeah.
Maybe try and get the second grenade as far over as possible to the left, and that might just barely get you the distance, and then slightly angle it so it's not completely vertical.
I think I want it as far to the right as possible so I can get a shallower angle. Oh,
Okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no, good. I mean, okay, so folks at home, this is exactly like what I was hoping a seed that they wouldn't generate, because like, but also as a caster, I am absolutely delighted because this is showcasing off how difficult master seeds can be in general, right? And everything our runners are doing is actually potentially required for them to get through. Nice knowledge from Smashy on the left to be able to recognize that they can land directly below the elemental. So we're gonna see if Smashy takes this shot all the way to the pickup that we saw Fresh trying to get through, or if they are just going to be activating the boulder as we saw from Fresh. But I like this play from Fresh. Fresh is just recognizing that it may be possible just to do this with Grenade Bash, but yeah, it's like it's cursed, like, to be completely honest. So they are going to come and grab this elemental shot on the right to be able to try and bring it over. Then, if they are able to continue to take the shot without dispelling it, they are going to get the necessary height, necessary distance. Looks good.
Oh my god.
Yes! Oh my god, both of them!
Okay. All right.
Oh.
I'm out of here. Okay.
Wow,
We have
charge flame. Oh my god.
now we have fake wall interaction.
Yay!
So
This has been a wonderful seed.
okay, I'm leaving. I'm going to
what
Horror
was-
Fields before I do anything more
what-
in Horror.
What was
What's
your
up?
pickup? What was the pickup you just got?
Mine was double jump.
No, the like the actual pickup. Where were you?
Oh, it was It was the R1. It was above the boulder cutscene.
Yeah, the energy cell. That's what mine was too.
Yeah. Of course, every time. It always puts it in the furthest, hardest location in horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys for running a master seed on for this.
Right.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna try and get this again.
So I guess I should just actually say something that is knowledge-based, besides me just losing my mind laughing so hard. So they found double jump. So double jump is going to do a couple things for our runners. The first thing it's going to do, which is honestly the most important, is it's going to allow our runners to touch walls and not just like die instantaneously. So basically being able to move off of walls every single time you run into a wall, it resets their double jump. Other things that reset double jump, bash, right? Bashing off of a grenade, bashing off a projectile, an enemy will reset double jump. And then...
No, please. Okay.
Ooh, that was a good save.
I didn't see the right.
Wow.
That was so silly. Okay, wait. This is an ability cell. I don't remember what the other one was. I don't have to go back for this if it wasn't important. Let's see. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, totally, yeah. So yeah, like ability cells are going to be actually really important. So I honestly, Fresh, I'm really
I'll just
glad
go
that you went
back
back
for
for that ability cell, because like that could matter. That could actually be very important for being able to finish out the seed itself. But yeah,
this
double
one was
jump.
just XP though.
Yeah. So double jump allows us to stay in the air for longer. And that is honestly probably one of the more important things, right? Because this is a 2D Metroidvania platformer, which is a lot of words if you're unfamiliar with the genre in general. But basically just being able to stay in the air is like very, very important. And we're going to see that in later areas once our runners are actually able to try and attempt to be able to progress with the main constraint of the speedrun itself, which is going and activating every single skill location.
Okay, so I think I can make it through here, but this is also very awkward. Okay, I need to... Let's go back for energy.
Yeah, good
This
call.
isn't energy. This is a... Oh, no. I don't know if I can.
Honestly, Fresh,
Wait,
you
can
always
I-
have the... You always have the option to go back to the waypoint and just refill there as well. Like, it's a pretty short
Yeah, that's
walk.
true. Is there... Or maybe I'll get a lucky donation from this Frankie. No. Can you break out of Horror Fields using an elemental shot? Or what can you use to break the gate? Wait,
so
you can juggle a baneling.
Oh god,
Oh,
you could.
no.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no.
You can't.
Oh, no.
But please, oh god.
I forgot about that. This is Master Luck. Look, all right. I have
True.
put thousands of hours into this randomizer, right? But I don't run on Master, and so like Fresh might be doing the cursed stuff, which is the main reason I don't run Master. Which is
I think we've actually done this before, so
it's fine. It'll be fine. You got this. So basically, there's going to be a wall that Fresh or Smashing needs to break in order to be able to get out of Horror Field
But yeah,
into
that's
one of
why
the earlier
all-
game
look at-
areas.
This is why all this is in logic is because of what you just said.
Oh
Fresh.
god, no!
Oh, no.
No!
So yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh no!
Oh no.
That is literally what it wants you to do. That is what it expects you to be capable of doing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait, where's my baneling? My baneling is
boy.
gone.
This is
Okay,
fun.
so two things can cause it to respawn. One is distance, and the second one is time. So honestly,
Well,
if
I'll
you
be
just
spending
like,
plenty of time over here, so
yeah, like going back into Mount Horu probably will cause it to respawn sooner as it heads
Yeah.
up. So
I'll check this quick.
so on the left, I think we're going to see Smashy now over this. Oh,
Forgot I did
no,
R1
this is-
cutscene.
So basically, there are certain types of walls and barriers in this game that can only be broken with certain skills and certain facets.
Oh, okay.
So how you're supposed to get into Mount Horu normally is by baiting one of these enemies that we lovingly named Banelings. So on the left, we can see Smashy now, like trying to work around with it. There's going to be two Banelings that they could potentially take. Probably the top one might be a little bit easier.
It is. I think.
And basically, the entire reason why we need to babysit it and bash it around is to break one specific type of wall. Because there is a Baneling on the other side of the wall that is very easy to break the wall with. But no, our runners, because they decided to run a Master Seed, they are going to attempt to take this Baneling here, as we see on the left, over in order to break that specific wall from the reverse side. So nice double bashes from Smashy so far. And they're going to continue to push through. Oh, that looks so good, Smashy. Come on, you're so close to getting out. Yes, let's
Did you
go.
get it? Oh yes.
I got it. Saving. Okay, I will go get a teleporter.
Alright. Good plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, oh god, oh no, Smashy, please don't.
That's okay.
Oh no. Okay.
It's okay, I got it.
Did you die? Oh
I
no.
did, but
No,
it's
she plays
fine.
the
It's fine. It's
Okay,
safe.
okay,
It's safe.
good.
All right.
Thank god.
All right.
I actually did not see you place that save, so I was having a heart attack. Really quick explanation is that there are various things that are going to be shared for our runners. Teleporters are one of them. So as Smashy comes over and they like actually touch a waypoint, this is going to allow Fresh to be able to get out of this hellscape, which is Mount Horu, without having to do that incredible sequence break that we saw Smashy just pop off and really showcase for us here. So thank goodness we finally are out and we can finally actually play the seed.
30
Oh wait,
minutes.
I have my Baneling. I can do this. Oh no, never mind.
I love you, Fresh. Okay, okay, welcome everybody. This is going to be Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer. We're now going to get started here. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. And like Bash. Like Bash has the most cursed seeds. And it's not just on Master Seeds, but it's also for all other logic levels that we may set. But like, especially for Master, the one thing you don't want to find is Bash. And yeah, our runners started with Bash. So there we saw Smashy just grab that swamp teleporter as a fast travel location, unlocking it for their dear friend and companion Fresh in order to be able to just get out of this area.
Yeah.
All
we
right,
don't
where do you
have to go
do you want to go
in
left or to Grotto?
I'm kind of going towards Grotto already. So I guess
You're
I'll
going
go
towards
that way.
Grotto? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick Igor juggle and then I'll go towards Grove.
Cool. So what our runners were just talking about there is like, what part of the map did they want to go to, right? And this is actually really important. It's not just because we want to progress with the constraint, which is activating every single skill location, but almost more importantly is that they need to find some form of progression. With their skill set, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's possible to start and finish the final escape. And it's all because of a skill they found, which is Charge Flame, allowing them to break 3 barriers within the final escape in order to be able to progress through. But like,
is that actually true? How do we get? Yes. How do you do the final room?
You can either take the fish or you can just like grenade bash it. Yeah. It's.
Oh no.
Grenade bash.
You just spawn Kuro and just go.
You don't actually need to spawn Kuro. You can just be far enough left with the grenade bash, but you have double jump to like touch walls and like ascend if you really need to. You have Charge Flame to break the barriers, but then especially in the final room. Final room is possible with this skill set. So Smashy on the left actually just found something that could potentially be pretty massive, which is why after taking an unintentional death, we're going back for it, which is an energy cell, right? Going up to 4 energy is really important because there are certain doors within Ori and the Blind Forest that require 4 energy to be able to open. But also on the left, Smashy just showing off a quit to menu after saving the game. So this is like a form of tech that we're going to see all over the place, which is basically entering a cutscene, saving the game, and then quit to menu and reload. We have various ways of saving the game that we'll probably talk about a little bit later on. But this just literally allows us to either enter or skip every single cutscene within Ori. There's a few that you actually can't do this with. That don't save any time, but I cannot stress enough, like over 90% of cutscenes within Ori and the Blind Forest are either skippable or allow us to enter and move around while those cutscenes are playing out. Yeah, so a bit of a routing divergence here. On the left, we see Smashy going down towards Moon Grotto, which is probably the best place to go right now, just simply because it is very pickup dense. And so what does that mean, right? Density. Density means that there's going to be a lot of things close together, right? And so if you have a lot of pickups that are very easy to check, but then also very close together, this allows us to be able to get more checks in less time, right? So like all speedrunning randomizer, which is very, very critical and very, very important for being able to lower our average times, is checking areas that have really high density. Because it gives us a higher probability not only of finding progression, but then also finding that bit of progression to unlock more pickups sooner, right? Because this is a speed run. It's all about time. It's all about the capability of like working through these seats succinctly. And both of our runners, honestly, have been putting on a really amazing showcase. Yeah, Horu was an absolute hellscape, but our runners did an excellent job getting out of there.
Ooh, more health, yes, please.
Yeah,
it's actually
resources.
It's nice to see the like different divergent, or not divergent, but like basically the split in routing, because now you're able to see more of the game and what it looks like, especially like with, you know, Smashy being in Grotto, and then we're in Grove with Fresh, so it's great that you could see more of the game rather than just Horu.
Yeah, honestly, I love this about the randomizer, right? Like, it really does require us to not only be comfortable with like the normal speedrun route, right? Because when you're speedrunning, you have a single route, right? So you get intimately familiar with every single wall, every single floor, every single enemy, every single instance where you have to do a sequence break. But in Rando, you get none of that, right? You have like a bajillion more things that you have to like master and like get comfortable with. Smashy on the left doing a beautiful sea flame redirect, even though they have bash.
Right.
Which I love to see. Yeah.
I can't get out of here, can I?
Yeah, sorry. So we were laughing because Smashy speedruns a category for Ori and the Blind Forest where you just skip bash entirely. So that was the joke there.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the left, Smashy is actually doing an important thing, which is entering Swamp, right? Right, Smashy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, breaking into Swamp. Upper or lower?
lower.
Yeah, she's in Swamp proper now, on the way to Stomptree. Yeah, so Smashy. Yeah.
Grabbing a teleporter.
Smashy on the left is just being very careful because they're on 1 health, so they just really don't want to do a slip up, right? Because in Ori, there's no like checkpoint system. There are a few spots where it does hard save your game, but like saving is up to the player itself. So yeah, Smashy's just trying to kill enemies in order to get.
Come here. Oh my God! Why are you ignoring me?
He's just a little shy. Just a little shy.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, so nice double bashes from Smashy there to grab, honestly, another keystone, which is very, very good for them. Because this door here is going to require 2 of them, but then also a lot of the right side, especially on the map, requires keystones in order to be able to progress through. So very tricky. We do have a glitch to be able to get access to additional keystones without having to find them as pickups in this item randomizer. But on the right side of the map, both of those those ways are incredibly difficult and also very slow to do. So Smashy just very, very good to like find that keystone. Meanwhile, on the right, Fresh coming over to Valley, maybe looking to progress to the left side or to just go down into Glades proper.
I'm probably gonna do Glades, but I realize that we have clean water right away. I guess I don't have to do long swim right now. There's no reason to for 1 check at this point.
And you just curse yourself because, yep, progression is going to indeed be on Valley Long Swim now.
Just like you said, the worst thing was... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's not so bad with this setup anyways.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, you folks are like in go mode. Like, it's not a fun go mode, but it is possible to now
nice
finish the rest of the game. I guess the last thing is like finding the last water vein shard. That's it.
Yeah. Or Ginso TP.
Ah, right, true.
Yeah, I could get that too.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, so another form off of that is that if you have 2 of the shards as well as a teleporter to the respective dungeon, that actually unlocks the teleporter, right? So like if they only have 1 shard and you find like Ginso teleporter, you actually can't use it. So you need at least 2 shards in the teleporter. And this is so like, in all honesty, there's actually like 6 pickups that could be beneficial towards them getting access to a dungeon. And the good news for our runners is that they probably don't need to go into Forlorn. And I say that with extreme hesitation because it could be like a facet where the only location that has like Ginso shards as well as the teleporter are going to be Forlorn. But that is incredibly improbable. Our runners have 2 of the 3 necessary water vein shards or 2 of the 3 necessary pickups if they find a teleporter. So like all they need to do is find 1 of 4 pickups in this like 256 pickup randomizer. So it is very, very unlikely that they have to go to Forlorn. So really our runners are just going to be focusing on finishing the objective, which is activating skill locations, as Rue was alluding to, and then tracking down that one last pickup that's going to get them access to that final dungeon.
Oh.
You say that, but Master does like packing important items into right side forlorn.
Yep. Yeah, so
Sorry, was Rue going to say?
Yeah, what Fresh is saying is that there still is one skill that can hardlock pickups, which basically means it's quote-unquote impossible for our runners to be able to check those pickups unless they find that skill. And that skill is Stomp. So really, if the randomizer wants to be incredibly mean and cruel, which it has been so far, then it would probably place things either in Forlorn or in a location that is gated by that skill, which is Stomp. Rue's feed is still good for me.
That's the third one.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't quite
So,
add anything.
very nice pickup there from Smashy's 69 experience. Very nice.
That's my third one, by the way.
Wow.
Oh shoot!
Okay. Okay. In all honesty, I don't know if it's a dev thing, like a rando dev thing, or if it like is just psychosomatic. But like, I see 69 experience a lot more often since the most recent patch for the randomizer. Just saying. But yeah, on the right, we see Fresh now coming into Blackroot Burrows. There are going to be 2 skill locations here that we have to activate. Whether or not they actually have skills on them is yet to be seen, but I can't believe I'm saying this, but our runners don't actually need any more skills in order to be able to finish out the seed itself, except for potentially Stomp, because that is the only like hard lock. But with Bash, we have access to the grand majority of pickups on the map itself, just alone with that. But then we have light grenades to be able to augment Bash in order to be able to build a lot of distance, a lot of height. We have double jump to be able to stay in the air and retain our momentum as well. We have charge flame to be able to break certain walls, as well as redirect like projectiles and the like. So our runners have a really comfy kit. If they are not running Master, but with Master, yeah, like the skills could be literally anywhere on the map. They could be in absolutely cursed and terrible locations. So really, the name of the game, once again, is besides going for the objective, it is just tracking down that last water vein shard or Ginso teleporter itself. And honestly, I'm hoping for Ginso teleporter because there's an incredibly difficult sequence break that they would have to do in order to be able to get to the skill location, which is... It's brutal.
Oh.
It is so incredibly hard,
Yeah.
but it is possible.
Oh, that one's not so bad anymore.
Cool. So on the right, we actually see a glitch we haven't talked about, which is something known as the save anywhere. So Fresh is moving around with the ability menu open, which you normally cannot do. Normally, the game actually ends up pausing when you open up the ability menu. But this just allows us to be able to spec into an ability by spending ability points. And that actually causes the game to save. So if we have control, if we have movement, we have the ability to move around and still cause the game timer to progress. If we just level up that ability after we cross a cutscene, that saves the game after a cutscene trigger. Another form for us allowing us to either enter or be able to skip. Once again, the grand majority of cutscenes in the game. There's a few other glitches that can come from Save Anywhere, and we may bring those up as we see our runners progress through the seed, but the most important one is just literally being able to save the game in order to skip or enter cutscenes. Cool. So I guess a bit of a state of sort of an update as the run is going to be progressing through. We see Fresh currently on the right in Blackroot Burrows. This is like in a very early game area that came into the definitive edition itself, but it does have 2 skill locations that our runners are going to need to activate in order to be able to finish out a seed. Meanwhile, on the left, Smashy, still just looking for something that's going to make the seed... a bit like more comfy, but also potentially like that water vein shard, right? We're not technically in go mode yet, which basically means all we have to do is go for the objective in order to finish out the seed. We still do need to find that one thing, that one water vein shard, that one Ginso teleporter in order to be able to finish the run out itself. So Smashy just looking for that thing potentially to allow our runners to basically just blitz to the end game
I can't do
potentially.
There we go.
Oh no. Yeah. So Smashy is just out of energy there on the left, so they can't break it. But yeah, just waiting for it to regenerate.
Why did I survive? What? I don't know why I lived through that. I didn't do anything special.
Interesting. I don't know if you accidentally went out of bounds there, or if you just found a pixel that I did not know existed.
I think the boulder just pushed me underground a little bit.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what happens.
I don't know why though.
Yeah, so basically on Fresh's side, there's a boulder escape, and the boulder itself has these damaging hitboxes which instantly kill you. However, there are actually very specific timed portions of the escape where those hurt boxes come into play and also disappear. So for Fresh, I think what ended up happening was they just narrowly, deftly found one of those little gaps in order to be able to not die instantaneously.
Okay, now I'm gonna work on breaking into lower black root. I'm not very good at this one, so we'll see how it goes.
Smashy, what are you doing to that frog?
He's helping me. What are you talking about? He's killing him for me.
Oh wow, that's so cool! I didn't actually know that frog shots could damage through the ground. Beautiful.
And I was trying to use him.
Love to see it. On the right, cool sequence break coming out of Fresh here. So there is a ground that we normally need either climb and charge jump or stomp to be able to break a floor. However, these Fronkies here, which we named because they're kind of a hybrid of frog monkeys, if you will, are going to be capable of actually breaking that floor for us using their ground pound. Which is very, very cool. And so we actually have a number of sequence breaks. This one's probably the most known by taking this one Frankie in particular. However, there's a lot of different cool things you can actually do, and also terrible things, very scary things that could be required by Master Logic. And so this lure here is expected that our runners are going to be capable of doing. But nicely done from Fresh. That was a lot more difficult than they made it look.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised I got that in like 2 tries or so.
Yeah, it was very good. That was also the second most difficult method of luring that Frankie in particular. You actually don't need any skills to do it, but bash helps. But then also dash, if our runners find it, is going to be confused. Smashing. Oh, I love Ori.
Series of unfortunate things there.
Yeah, indeed. So even though with early game portions, right, it's very easy to take a dab. It's very easy to take unintentional damage and whittle your health down. And we have very few ways to honestly be able to heal up, be able to save the game, be able to take some comfort with working through these incredibly complex and difficult areas. But both of our runners have been absolutely putting on a clinic with their impressive display of skill and prowess. Cool, yeah, on the right, just taking this Baneling, right? If one bash angle is off, not only does the Baneling die, but then Fresh also would have taken a death because their health is low enough for the Baneling to instant kill. Setting up another save anywhere just simply to be able to move around with the ability menu up, which is not normal for the game, but it allows us to be able to enter and or skip most cutscenes. So nicely done from Fresh, making their way over to Light Grenade as a skill location.
Nice.
So Smashy, oh yeah, go on Fresh, please.
You did double jump tree, right?
Yeah.
Or wall jump. Okay. And wall jump is the grotto one. Or wait, no. I did wall jump.
You did wall jump. Okay.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't do that, so yeah.
We mostly have left side, right? At this point.
Yeah, so we're just trying to find a way to get there. Oh, actually, we do have a way over there. Never mind. Just remembered.
Oh yeah. Also, I apologize, Smashy. Don't forget to activate sign, but I think you just teleported out.
We don't need to. We already have sign, so it's not required. So. Yeah. True.
Fair. Yeah. So. Smashy is going to be just continuing to work through, check some additional pickups, because we still are not quite in go mode yet. but we do require to find that last like water vein shard, if not Ginso teleporter, to be able to get access to the final dungeon. Meanwhile, on the right, we see Fresh actually just continuing on in Blackroot Burrows, trying to just get back out of this laser to potentially be able to get access to additional pickups.
I should probably just teleport back. It's not that far.
Oh boy.
Using Bash Nade to get past the laser is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's incredibly precise to be able to do so. So just like literally teleporting out and then walking back, no problem. No problem at all.
In fact, I should just go do Grotto. I haven't done any of Grotto, and that is very pickup dense. I should just look for things.
Yeah, indeed. So once again, like this term density progression, what does that all sort of allude to? So like density in particular is going to be really important for our runners to be able to sort of increase the probability that they're going to find the thing that they need, right? So like mathematically, right, like density, if you just think about that from science brain, it's just things are close together. So when you have a lot of pickups that are close together and they take less time to be able to actively collect them, as well as collect additional pickups afterwards. So like that is really massive, especially when you're trying to lower your average time for a randomizer itself. Yeah, shout out on the left to the one experience pickup. Thank you, Sigma, for blessing this seed.
And also, the reason I didn't just go to the densest area first in the first place was because since we're Forcetrees and we need to get all of the trees to complete the seed, if we just fan out and tackle different trees, try to divide and conquer, we can just kind of hope that we'll get the pickups that we need otherwise along the way. But now we have reached that point and we need more to continue.
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of working my way towards Grove GP right now, so I can go open up left side. So that's kind of, I'm just checking stuff on my way.
Okay.
Yeah. So like a really cool sort of strategy thing that our runners just alluded to is that not only are pickups shared, so if like one person finds a skill, then the other person gets it instantaneously, but then also sort of progression objective wise is also shared. So teleporters, right? We saw Smashy do that absolute cursed sequence break with the Baneling in order to get out of Horu, but then she actually ended up activating Swamp Teleporter. So that gave it over to Fresh and allowed them to just be able to teleport out instead of having to do that same sequence break. So teleporters, trees, all of those objective-based things are shared between our runners. So only one runner actually needs to activate a certain skill location, right? So like both of our runners, no, they don't need to activate 22 skill locations. Only one of them has to activate it a single time. So our runners are strategizing where they're also checking pickups as they fan out in this mid-game portion of the speedrun in order to be able to both cover more ground, but then also split up those objectives in an optimal fashion. So really cool strategy stuff seeing from our performers here today. Okay, on the right, we see Fresh actually going for a really difficult sequence break. This was originally discovered from just people who speed ran the randomizer itself, and then it actually became ported over into the speedrun. Normally in all skills speedrun for the base game itself, we actually had to do Ginso escape, which is an escape sequence that is very near and dear to everybody who plays this game normally. And we used to do it every single time. However, with that frog, as we saw from Fresh, we're able to actually break that floor and ceiling respectively with the frog shot, allowing us to be able to get into Swamp proper and make our way over to the skill location that normally gives us Stomp in the base game itself. So just very, very cool. And shout outs to Sigma for like timing it out and realizing it that would save near 30 seconds for the base speedrun itself. And that's really like cool thing about Rando is that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of sequence breaks and strats that we see that we would never see in a base game speedrun. But oftentimes they have actually really revolutionized and altered the route and sort of the strategies that we see in the base speedrun.
Smashy, you did Stomp Tree already?
Yeah.
I'm already here.
Ooh, got Valley TP though.
Ooh. Yes. I should probably.
Though I'm already going there.
Yeah, so I guess just to touch on that is that Smashy actually just ended up finding the Valley Teleporter as a pickup. So like not only can we find like experience and resources and some other bonus pickups that we have in the randomizer, but then also you can actually unlock a teleporter. So finding that pickup is really, really good because it not only unlocked it for her teammate Fresh, but then also it saved something that's almost more important, which is resources. So being able to like save those keystones is going to cut down on the amount of time that it takes to be able to progress to the sea. But yeah, on the left, probably one of my favorite glitches in the entire speed game, Smashy just ended up stacking 2 cutscenes together. So here, this is like, welcome to Valley, there's Kuro. But then also if you travel too far over, which Smashy did, you actually activate an instant kill death plane. And so Smashy, because they were in that first like welcome cutscene, the death plane did occur, it did trigger. However, it did not actually end up killing Smashy. So now they're in this weird state, right? Because they're intangible during that first cutscene. So if Smashy just goes over and like breaks the rocks, then yeah, that will also despawn the kill plane. However, until then, Smashy actually cannot save the game by placing down a soul link, which is the normal way that we save the game. But there are still different ways that Smashy can save. They can do save anywhere. They can like activate a waypoint. They can have the game sort of hard save by triggering an event or a skill location. But no, instead Smashy is just going to be double bashing this frog up and up, but has to be very careful because if they take a death, then they will be kind of locked into an infinite kill loop because the game saved while they were in the kill plane.
Right.
I am much less confident with this cutscene stack, so I'm just going to take it.
Now it's fine. I saved on this save well, so we're fine.
Yeah, boom.
Oh, actually, we don't even need to do fancy Stompless stuff because we'll have Wilhelm.
True.
Correct.
Cheats. Oh.
Yeah, so Fresh was just mentioning like a sequence break, which is a very popular one in the base speedrun of this game, which is known as Stompless. And they don't actually need to do it because they started the game in Horu. And when you start the game in Horu with random spawn, which our runners are currently utilizing for the sea generation itself, it does 2 things. One is it, starts you in Horu, but then it also causes our runners to start with a complete sunstone. And so with a fully finished sunstone as an item, this actually causes a frog to spawn in a very specific spot, which does a Wilhelm screen if our runners end up kicking it off the ledge. But that frog spawning allows us to use the frog's projectile in order to break the rocks to be able to get access to glide as a skill location, but then also, and almost more importantly, for despawning the kill plane itself in this area. Yep, so Fresh on the right is going to be showing off the Wilhelm frog. They're going to be
I thought... I'll have to go back. That's okay.
Oh no. Yeah, so Fresh accidentally kicked off the frog and the projectile ended up colliding with a bird. I love the flavor though, Fresh. Thank you for attempting that.
Yeah, thank you. Because I was like, how am I going to get Wilhelm to scream and get this shot? So I was just like,
Oh, good. All right, so both of our runners are going to be despawning that kill plane, going to be activating that skill location, which is required for the speedrun itself, and also they are going to be unlocking the left side of the map.
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
At
I
this
will do
point...
Sorrow if you want me to.
Okay, and I can do Misty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty familiar with
how you-
doing Bashnade Misty. Or at least
Okay, I know how much you love
familiar
like,
enough.
Sorrow Bash, so.
What?
I know how much you love Sorrow Bash, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Also, something
can't- I need to
I
really-
should maybe mention, I've never speedrun this game before. Everything I know about speedrunning has been from like watching people play or just doing randos. So I don't really have methods for stuff like Sorrow Bash that's like a part of the speedrun. I just kind of wing it.
By the way, I forgot to reload, so I'm like, I can't save.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh no.
Ooh, but I will do my favorite facts if I can get these silly enemies out of the way.
Okay, yeah, so eyes on the right. Fresh is actually going to be going for an incredibly difficult and very, probably, like, honestly, was one of the most hated and, like, most cursed sequence breaks in olden times. But now, like, with better understanding of the game and better practice, people are a lot more comfy with it. But Fresh, bringing over this frog shot. This is actually cool. I've never seen this variant before. It's going to be bringing it over and breaking that one single wall. I did not expect that frog shot to be able to travel that far, Fresh. That is actually really cool.
Yeah, I really like using the higher frog shot because it comes out faster. So since the frog is higher, the shot moves faster down there. So you can just shoot it directly horizontally and buffer double bashes, and it'll work every time. You have to adjust for the speed once you bring it up, but it makes the like horizontal section much easier.
Word. Yeah, so Smashy on the left is coming into Sorrow, and as they mentioned earlier, they actually can't place a soul link down, and this is all because of that cool sequence break that we saw with like removing the death plane and coming into this area and being able to activate Glide Tree with the death plane gone. So they need to be incredibly careful, and like in Sorrow, it's like probably one of the end game portions, and so like things that are spiky, yeah, those deal a metric bunch ton of damage. So Smashy just has to be so incredibly careful. But it's also like really important to note that like one of the ways that we have for increasing our safety and consistency with working through this game is by literally placing down saves. And that's not because it gives us a spot on the map to be able to respawn at, but then also saving the game by placing down a soul link actually heals Ori. So it is incredibly imperative to be able to save the game for that reason, but Smashy can't do that, right? So they have one life, they have one chance to be able to continue to progress through, unless they want to back out and save the game.
I'm kind of committed now.
Yeah.
Wait, where are you at right now? Are you trying Sorrow Bench?
Sorrow. Oh gosh.
Are you in Sorrow?
No, I'm in Sorrow.
Oh god.
Ow.
Good luck. Where is?
I should probably just go to the tree, to be honest.
No. Oh no. Actually, wait.
Yeah.
I get?
Yeah, I should just go to the tree.
This frog gets its health back.
So the unfortunate thing for Smashy right now is like with their skill set, they don't really have a lot of good options with getting to the tree. So like normally we have Glide in order to be able to ride the wind currents, but there's like a lot of spikes between here and there, and they will be one-hit kills for Smashy. So she's gonna need to like decide, like does she grab the tumbleweed and do tumbleweed strats? Is she gonna do something creative with something else? Or is she gonna back out and like maybe save and then be able to get access to a save anywhere to be able to progress through? So there are tools in Smashy's belt to be able to get through, but none of them are easy, none of them are nice, and all of them, yes, are incredibly difficult. Cool. So on the right, we see Fresh currently working through Misty, which is once again a late game area. This does have a skill location about halfway through, but it is pretty tricky to get to with this skill set. The good news is that Fresh has two things. One is they have Bash, so that they can grab onto enemies, grab onto projectiles, as we see them working upwards further into Misty. But then also they have Double Jump. And Double Jump allows us to be able to get a little bit higher, yes, by jumping an additional time in the air, but more importantly is it allows us to retain our position within air. So the longer that we can actually stay in air allows us to be able to navigate through very spooky and very damaging sections with a lot more safety. So just literally having Double Jump, I'm like, honestly is like an absolute like send from the divine. It's just like, it's so incredibly nice with working through these late game sections in particular.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
This complicates things.
I have to go around, yeah.
Yeah, so I think like Smashy, you can either do like Tumbleweed or you need to like do like a save anywhere for zombies.
I can't do a save anywhere. That's the thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
There you go.
Maybe I can. I still feel afraid to do it though, so it's like.
Yeah,
that may make it scarier, honestly. Charge jump is powerful, but it can throw you into spikes as well as health.
Right. Well, we'll just go for this.
Okay. This is always the awkward spot. Coming back. Let's get you out of the way.
Yeah, so on the right, Fresh is like trying to go down through this one corridor, which is probably the more probably the most difficult section besides the very like start of Missy, like getting to that first keystone pickup.
What did that bounce off of?
Oh wow, what? Well, that is so weird. I've never seen that.
Okay. And now we're basically in go mode.
Oh, yay. Well, while we're in go mode, can we actually have a nice little breaky poo? I mean, I know we have go mode, but we do have to take a nice little 5-minute, gotta stretch, gotta get your legs going and everything like that. Just whatever is a good time to
get up and break.
Yeah, whatever is a good time, because I see that there's spooky things everywhere, no matter where I'm looking. So just let me know when we are ready to go on a pause.
Break. Yep, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, awesome. So we will be going on a break. I'm gonna go get a blanket and some water and some tea, because this is just... Ooh, this is entertaining. Alrighty, everybody. We'll be back with some more Legally Cute, and stay tuned, and we will be bringing you some more Ori and the Blind Forest. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some more Legally Cute, a show about cute and cozy speedruns. And tonight we are having a very cute time with the Ori DE Master Seed Randomizer with our friends. I would like to just reintroduce Fresh and Smashy and Covert. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
So whenever we are ready, you can give us a countdown.
All right, your turn, Smashy.
Okay. Yep. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. This part is really spooky me.
Yeah. Watch on the left. Yeah.
I always forget this section. There's a sequence break you can... I don't need this because I have charge jump, but I always forget to try this with the frog when I can.
Let's see.
Wow, nice. Okay, so really I cannot draw enough attention to this.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad. I might die.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really difficult. So on the left, Smashy is like really going to be trying to get the tumbleweed in a specific position. So they want to start the bash when the tumbleweed is going to be in the laser itself. And that's going to allow them to be basically displace them across the instant death laser. However, like with tumbleweed in general, like she has to like nail these frame perfect inputs, and they're not using an accessibility or approachability option that we have in the randomizer itself. So every single one of these inputs is incredibly precise. It is incredibly difficult. Nice, Smashy. Okay, so she got past the second incredibly scary, incredibly difficult section. But quick reminder, Smashy can't save the game. So she gets one shot here. She gets one attempt at this trick, at this one sequence of double bashes as they bring the tumbleweed up. But they also are going to be guiding this tumbleweed through an incredibly difficult and incredibly narrow spike corridor, where if they make one slip up, yeah, they're dead. And then they have to like go not only all the way back to the teleporter, but then yeah, like erases all their progression that they have done through Sorrow, because the game hasn't saved since they actually have activated glide tree. So on the left, Smashy is now going to be bringing the tumbleweed up, trying to get through this one section. This is the first difficult sequence of double bashes through the spike corridor. Nice, able to get through without taking a damage. That is incredibly important, incredibly good. And then they're going to be measuring their distances with the tumbleweed itself.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, Smashy!
I'm gonna reload just to make sure I can save. It's fine. There wasn't anything like
Did you make it through?
super important. It's fine. I can get back there really quickly. Now I can save.
Yeah. And the good news now is that like Smashy honestly taking that death is going to be making going through that section a lot easier because that they can do a glitch known as a zombie Ori with charge jump and double jump and just to get through. It's so like really like kudos to you, Smashy, for just like not only going for Sorrow without being able to save the game, but then also to like go for tumbleweed strats under those conditions. That is incredibly impressive to me. Cool. Okay, so Fresh on the right, just continuing to just work through sort of a starting location, just checking some additional pickups, just in case they find something that's going to make sort of the end game portions a little bit easier. The good news, though, for me as a caster is that our runners activated go mode by finding Ginso Teleporter.
Yay.
So if our runners do opt to actually go into Ginso, they're going to have to do probably one of the hardest sequence breaks for me as a speedrunner of the randomizer to do in a race setting, or excuse me, in a speedrun setting. So I really hope they don't find another Ginso water vein shard so that they have to subject themselves to that sequence break.
What if I wanted
also
to
a pickup
happen?
sign who's already been following me around this whole time.
Oh.
I found a twin.
Yeah, so on the right, we see Fresh just activating sign. It is a skill location. It's not technically tracked yet by the game, but the devs definitely are, for the randomizer, excuse me, not Moon Studios, but for the randomizer, are going to most likely make it an objective location on a later patch. But there's a lot of weird stuff that I'm not going to go into detail as to why it isn't currently. But yeah, it's probably one of the weirdest skill locations within the game itself coded. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do tumbleweed strats against Smashy, I'm not going to stop you.
I mean, I'm always all for a good time.
Although this, I didn't break this rule. Oh gosh.
Oh no! I mean,
okay.
oh yes. Yeah. So on the left, Smashy is actually going to do a really cool sequence break with Bash using the Shooty Shark projectile here.
And to keep in mind, so earlier we were mentioning about the projectiles and having like a different velocity. This one is one of the faster ones, and it's hard to control, especially when you're double bashing.
It has an arc too.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's weird too because what Rue was alluding to is that the horizontal velocity. So the more horizontal you actually bash that one particular projectile, the faster it actually ends up like going. Oh, Smashy's so close.
Oh, that was so close.
I've done that so many times. It's just hitting yourself with a shot. So like all these bash angles are incredibly particular for Smashy. So she's not only having to do this frame perfect execution every single time she wants to chase with the shot, but also just like maintaining really precise and really particular bash angles to not have the shot hit Ori. Because bash is a very weird as a skill. It actually displaces us through space ahead of what we actually end up bashing it. So it's very easy to accidentally despawn the shot by having it collide with ourselves going through a bash. But Smashy is doing an excellent job. Looks good so far as they are continuing to progress up with the shot. So just a few more bashes and they are going to be able to break the ceiling.
Nice.
Nicely done. Let's go.
Great work. Yeah, let's go. And then I know with Fresh right now we're seeing a lot of the Ginso.
Oh, goody. Oh, yay, Fresh. You have to.
I'm working my way down.
Okay, so we're talking about the Shooty Shark projectiles a lot on Smashy's end. Yeah, so Fresh is now going to have to do an even more cursed sequence break if they are going to go for this, which is going to be double bashing at very particular spots. So not only it's going to be important for the bash angles and the position of Ori, but yeah, it's going to be exact bash moments for when they actually end up bashing the projectile themselves. And if they are slightly off, then it's not going to work. And this is incredibly difficult. So they're going to attempt it. Literally the word attempt is going to be the key word there. And so we'll see how Fresh does. Yeah, nice first bash. Bashing it up is definitely my setup as well for going up. You may also want to just kill the slime fresh, just in case. Like down below.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, nice, and getting that flower pad out of the way as well. Yeah, so there's the wall that they need to... Wait, can you just break that with charge jump?
I don't think so. I could... Maybe.
Oh, no.
Yes. Okay.
No! I wanted to see you do it!
No.
That's okay.
We'll go back.
Okay.
I'm doing this.
Oh, Fresh, I love you.
This wouldn't be the first time I've done something stupid I didn't need to do because I forgot that I had the ability.
I mean, I forgot as well. Like, my only job is to say words here, and I completely forgot that you had charge jump. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, yeah, so with charge jump, we can break that wall, so Fresh did that, but they're still going to be trying to showcase off what we would have to do without having charge jump. And this is like, I think in my time speedrunning the randomizer, I've only had to do the sequence break once in a race. And I won that race, but also it's just like, it's so rare and it's so cursed that we rarely, if never see this.
How did this... Wait. Oh, I think the slime hit the wall at the same time.
Yeah, that was incredibly close. The shot was just a little bit too far to the right.
Oops.
But yeah, so basically Fresh is just really trying to like follow the shot in really particular fashions, and this is as difficult as it looks. Meanwhile, Smashy on the left did an excellent job getting the charge jump free. We didn't talk about any of the stuff that Smashy did, but it was actually, in all honesty, very fascinating, very fast-paced, and very difficult. And they just put on an absolute clinic making it over to that skill location. Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find a water vein shard in the meantime.
Oh, yeah. my thing still is that you still don't have wall interaction. Like Covert was mentioning before.
Yeah, we never found wall jump.
Yeah, never found like climb,
no climb.
Technically, we do have wall interaction.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Quotation marks on the word technically.
Huge asterisk.
Yeah.
We can touch walls and have something happen, but... yeah, so once again, we don't have climb or wall jump, so we can't like sort of sustain ourselves passively on a wall in like a normal sense. But with double jump and as like skilled speedrunners, both of our runners have been doing an incredible job working through the seed. We can actually maintain ourselves going up a wall. But there we go. Every skill location has been activated. All that's left for our runners, if they do want to finish, is just literally going to Mount Horu and doing the final escape. But honestly, with the amount of resources, with the amount of skills that we actually do have currently, it is not an easy thing. It is a very tall order with like finishing out. So our runners may just continue to peruse around to be able to get some additional safety, get some additional ease in order to be able to make that final escape a lot more comfortable. Because the final escape indeed is like probably one of the hardest sequences. And in all honesty, like for you Twitch chat, as well as my friends here, the final escape is my most practiced segment in Rando. Like for tournament prep and stuff, like I just drill the final escape every single day in as many different ways as I can imagine. Because it is that hard, it is that difficult.
I was going to ask, what is the hardest, in your opinion, the hardest combination of skill sets to do with the least amount, other than just the bash a grenade and the sea flame?
Yeah, no, I think that is it. I think it's bash sea flame is the hardest escape sequence. There's some really cursed stuff, which is honestly banned for rando tournaments and stuff like that, which is something known as a warp shot, which is basically... when a spider shoots a projectile, it doesn't despawn. It literally does not. However, we can actually despawn parts of the map and parts of the area by getting far enough away from those areas. We do use this as like a trick known as fast stompless in some situations, which is allowed both in the base speedrun as well as like when we race randomizer. However, what you can actually end up doing also is use the fast travel from anywhere to be able to despawn those areas. So the most cursed, I believe, is you take 2 spider shots from from Valley, and then you like end up teleporting, starting the final escape, and then only using bash and charge flame to be able to get through. I have never finished a final escape using that skill set in particular, but there are runners who have done that and have like recorded and like proved that it is possible. It's hard. It's cursed. That's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's how cursed it is. But I guess for like a legal sense, honestly, yeah, just like bash and minimal skill sets. There's a lot of different things that you can actually end up doing in different ways that you can work through the incredibly difficult rooms. And like being on low health is the thing that makes the final escape like even more cursed. And when you're speedrunning a randomizer, the fewer pickups that you have to collect means the faster that you can finish a seed. So if you go around checking more pickups, yeah, that's seconds, that's minutes that you are losing over potentially just finishing it very fast. That's why I'm glad this isn't a race, that this is an exhibition, because we can show off more of the game and show off more of the awesome thing that is this randomizer.
Yeah, I think especially low skills plus not having clean water is really scary.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think? Should we go for the escape or keep looking for things?
I think we could probably finish.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'll just clear out the vault quick.
Yeah, go for it. So there's a few things to mention about the final escape. There's going to be really like 4 different screens that are going to be sort of the thing that is difficult. So each of our runners are going to be compartmentalizing what they want to do in each of those screens and just taking it one at a time. The second thing to mention is that you only get one shot in the final escape, right? If you take a death, that sends you back to the beginning. We can't save. We can't set up some sort of a checkpoint in order to be able to not have to do earlier sections. So it really is crucial that our runners are able to finish like through and through, right? Like in a single run setting for being able to actually get to the end of the game, get to those cutscenes.
What did I do? I've never seen this before. What did I do?
What did you do, Fresh?
I was trying to do what do you call it? Okay, it worked this time. Is that a terror drop? Save drop?
Yeah, save drop.
Through this laser, but for some reason I just like unloaded. I don't know. I've never seen that happen before.
Ori is a magical game, and those words that I've never seen that happen before has been happening a lot. Like literally, it happened for me, like with that Misty, with that grenade, like getting pushed by those spikes. I've never seen that before. That is so bizarre. I'm literally going to DM like Lucy and Tachi after this, being like, "What the fuck is this?" Or excuse my language. I apologize. But yeah, so on the left, we see Smashy now entering the final escape. They are going to be progressing in. So here, coming through this section in particular, this is why Charge Flame is actually useful. Is literally breaking that one floor, which does 2 things. One is it despawns the instant kill trigger from the boss itself, but then also it's going to allow us to be able to break these floors and literally progress through, because we have no other ways besides charge jump to be able to break through. Nicely done from Smashy as well, able to get through that elemental section, and now they are going to be coming through here. And so after they get into the water here, this is really where is going to just show one final moment that is going to be really spooky. So we're going to see how Smashy decides to navigate. They're going to opt to just bash up, but then standing in a particular spot, activating charge jump to be able to jump up. Nicely done, able to bypass a kill trigger for Shriek itself, and they are going to be finishing out first. But
I get the easy one.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Was that on your
That is
warm?
a great place for Glide.
That was on my worm, yeah.
Right. Nice.
I get the easy escape now.
I used it at the very, very end.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. So with Glide, it's actually going to make that section that Smashy went through is going to be a lot easier, but still very difficult, very precise. But beautiful stuff from Fresh. Great escape so far. They're just making this seamless, make it look incredibly easy when no, it is actually incredibly difficult, even with the resources. But we don't have wall jump, we don't have climb, we don't have dash, we don't have stomp.
I'm more scared than usual.
It's okay, you got this, you got this.
That I have accidentally spawned Kuro more times than I like recently.
Yeah, and the trigger for that for spawning Kuro is definitely really bizarre. Like, it's very particular, but nicely done, both of our runners crossing that final trigger to be able to bring them towards the credits. All that is left for our runners is to be able to hold to the right. So time is going to be coming up for Smashy in about 10 seconds, and time for Fresh is going to be coming up in about 40-ish seconds. GG, my friends.
GG.
Thank you. And time for me.
Speed hops.
Oh, of course.
Oh, I didn't do the hops.
The little hops. Speed hops.
Yeah, I guess I can just take this moment to just mention that if you're interested in trying out the randomizer, you don't need to be a speedrunner, right? Right? Fresh was you were talking about earlier, right? You haven't really like speedrun this game, but you just tried out the rando and had fun with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I won't say I did have a lot of speedrunning knowledge from watching a lot of runs over the years, which helped a lot.
Sure.
But you can definitely get into it without that. You don't have to start on master.
Time's going to be coming up for Fresh in just a moment. But if you're interested in trying it out, go to orirando.com. And we have beginner's resources. We have a beginner's guide if you're just interested in trying it out. But yeah, that's time for Fresh. And yeah,
time.
Cool. Cool, good stuff. Congrats, Smashy and Fresh. I mean, that was like a really cursed start, and like you folks really just handled that, and were put on an amazing show. Well done.
Really good. Yeah.
If we hadn't realized we could break out, that could have been a rough one.
Yeah, I could tell that the beginning was very, it was very, very interesting. So in the meantime, we will be doing a little bit of a break. So stay tuned. We are going to be having some more Legally Cute and definitely having fun with our Ori and the Blind Forest friends. And yeah, so we are going to just be a little bit on a break, and we'll come back shortly with some more Legally Cute. Hello, everybody. We are back with more Legally Cute, showcasing the Ori and the Blind Forest, the Randomizer. Now we showcased the Master Seed. Now we're going to Expert. And this one will be a lot of fun because it's going to showcase the clues. But before we get into it, I just wanted to do a few announcements about, well, I mean, we're having SGDQ coming up. That's coming around the corner. It's going to be from May 28th to June 4th, and it's going to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you want to check out all the information, you can go to our website at gamesdonequick.com. Also, just a reminder again that we do have the Flame Fatale submissions that are open until tomorrow on May 20th. So get all those submissions in, and definitely want to see some more for the Flame event. And I do want to say this is really going to be really cool. I would love to see more new faces around here. We are looking for new hotfix shows and showrunners. If you are interested, use the command hotfix in chat or go to gamesdonequick.com to see and submit your ideas. This includes the bi-weekly shows, limited show runs like Ocarina Improv, and one-day events. And also another event coming up is going to be our Juneteenth, our annual event celebrating Black Independence is coming up on June 17th and 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Join us as we highlight the amazing talents of the Black speedrunning community. Alrighty, everybody, are we ready for some more Ori?
Yes.
I'm ready. Let's go! I can't believe how fast the last one was.
I still can't either. No.
Well, let's see if you could go faster this time.
Yep.
I sure hope so.
So whenever you're all ready, just let us know and we'll start with the countdown.
Yep. I'm ready.
Yep,
and I can
I'm ready.
count down.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck, have
Thank you.
fun.
I'm fully expecting Bash again, by the way, because it's Expert.
I don't understand why you hate Bash.
Muffin.
Or is it just the meme?
It's just the
Do you wanna-
dropped ones.
Did you want to do a commentator's curse by saying it's not going to be Bash?
Oh yeah, no, they're not going to find Bash like
No,
at all.
no.
It's going to be the most cursed final escape, like in the grand finals with like me and Sigma, where we had to do the most cursed like charge jump seaflame final escape.
Oh, that was so epic. Yeah, it was. So Bash, so far I don't see it, but Bash is something that we mentioned a lot in the previous seed, and it was a master seed. But for anyone new that's coming in, it's just kind of an ability that essentially it like opens up a lot of the map on top of the fact that you can bash off of enemies, you could bash off of like the environment, the flowers, anything like that. So and also like it's certain abilities, like if you had grenade, you could bash off of that. So definitely it's a skill that is important, but it's not one that we always are like, yay, we found it, we want it kind of thing. But there are other skills that I would say I get excited when I see them, and for me that's Glide.
Yeah, honestly, like glide starts are some of the most like unique and weird seeds that like people are, and honestly in general, like very uncomfortable with. There's a lot of really different stuff that can happen, especially if we end up finding an early teleporter. So like here in Ori, basically what Rue was alluding to is the sense of something known as progression, which is a really important word for speedrunning a randomizer. Basically what progression means is that as our runners go through, they're going to be grabbing pickups, and these will get us stuff, whether it's a resource, whether it's another skill, whether it's a teleporter to allow us to be able to go to a new location, or if it's just like something like as simple as like a resource to be able to open up new areas. But yeah, there it is. There's the first bit of progression, which is charge jump, and this is going to honestly be one of the last skills you normally get in a normal playthrough of the game. But like with charge jump, this is going to open up a lot, and it's something that we classify as a power skill. So as we go through forms of progression that end up unlocking our capability of being able to check additional pickups, it is like the pickup that you find that is progression, the more impactful that is, the more powerful it becomes, right? So charge jump allows us to jump very, very high. And so in a 2D Metroidvania, this is going to allow us to be able to check a lot of additional pickups. So the other power skills are going to be dash, which is going to significantly reduce the amount of time it takes to traverse horizontally, as well as some other glitches that we know as speedrunners surrounding dash. But then also bash, as Rue was mentioning, is the most powerful skill in the entire randomizer. Maybe not necessarily from a logic sense, which we can probably talk about a little bit later on, but as speedrunners, just utilizing that skill bash with our vast amount of tech and things that we can do with bash allows us to check almost every single pickup on the map just simply by collecting bash as an individual skill, which is massive. But charge jump is the story of this seed, and it is going to be a very nice start for our runners.
Yeah, very comfortable skill to have. But mostly, I'm just hoping that we see skill combinations that let us show different abilities than we've done so far. Like if we can get some rocket jumps, if we can get grenade jumps, that would be fantastic.
Speaking of grenade jumps,
rocket jumps would be great.
Yeah, I do hope you folks do find dash this seed. That would be very cool. Like we were laughing on break in between these two casts, folks, just because we were looking at the spoiler, which is basically just the text log that tells us where important things were on the previous seed. So our runners are running these blind. They've never seen these seeds before. They've never practiced them, et cetera, et cetera. But afterwards, we can look at the spoiler log, and man, the three other skills that they were missing last seed were just in the most cursed locations that you could imagine. It's just absolutely beautiful to see. But hopefully Dash is in a nice spot so that we can show off some cool tech.
Mm-hmm. We did have a question. What is randomized for the Ori randomizer?
Sure. I can take this if that's okay with you guys.
Go for it.
So randomizer is basically just a skill that allows us to check additional pickups. So basically, you can check additional pickups without finding an early teleporter. So like here in Ori, basically what we're Okay, cool. So this is known as an item randomizer, which basically means that the pickup locations are the same as the base game itself. However, what you actually end up finding at those pickup locations is randomized. So a few other things beyond that, there are some additional pickup locations that we have added in for some more versatility and replayability factor for the randomizer to make it more interesting. But then also skills, right? Skills aren't going to necessarily show up at the trees. The dungeon keys aren't going to necessarily be in their vanilla locations, right? So like everything, right? Everything is just scattered around at those pickup locations. That being said, some other stuff is that there is going to be a set amount of experience or spirit light on the map itself. It always adds up to exactly 10,000. But that being said, the values of that spirit light are randomized themselves as you check those pickup locations. So the sum is a constant, but what you actually end up finding at those locations are going to be different. And basically the later in logic, so the more skills that are required to check X pickup location, if you find Spirit Light at a later portion, it has a larger range of values that can actually end up rolling. So at the start, we're expecting to see between maybe 20 and 60 Spirit Light, but in late game, the values can get as high as 900, which is pretty ridiculous. I think the highest amount of Spirit Light that I got from a single pickup was 970 something.
Oh, really?
But that is very, very, very rare.
Yeah.
So values like 200 to 300 are going to be sort of what you expect on average to see in late game pickup locations. Beyond that, we actually do have some extra sort of bonus pickups which aren't in the base game. So we have like temporary energy, temporary health pickups, which are known as mega health and mega energy. They basically just they slap on 5 temporary energy, and then after you use it, then yeah, you can only refill to how many energy cells that you actually end up having. Same thing with health. But then also we have other bonus pickups such as health regeneration, energy regeneration. There's 3 of each of those. There's an extra double jump, which allows us to double jump for an additional time, mimicking the second to last ability that you end up unlocking on the cyan tree. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of stuff. There's so much in the randomizer itself, which makes it really special and really cool, and really honestly increases the replayability beyond just sort of what we as speedrunners sort of tackle when we're approaching the base game itself. Yeah. Boom. There you go. There's your answer. But yeah, our runners are just sort of going into Blackroot Burrows right now. There's 2 reasons for this. The first one is because there are skill locations in here, and the constraint that our runners are running with is to activate every single skill location on the map. So and in the tracker, as we see in Fresh's sort of overlay, there are going to be those very small sort of tree icons that are sort of going around the outside perimeter of the skills that our runners are collecting. And so we have to activate all 11 skill locations before we're allowed and even capable of starting and finishing the final escape itself. And so
That's
there's
2/3 of grenade jumps.
There we go. Almost the Triforce. But yeah, so the other reason that we're in Blackroot Burrows is it's literally the only location that we have access to right now. So both of our runners are looking for a skill, looking for something that's going to unlock more of the map, more pickup locations for them to be capable as well as able to check as they go through. So there we found Climb, which is going to be shared with both of our runners. And that is going to allow us to be able to get access to some new areas, but really, honestly, not much. Climb doesn't open up that much more of the map.
Oh no, come on.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. So Fresh on the right, trying to get up to this platform there. Yeah, doing a very smart thing. And this is what I love to see in Rando is like doing things in a very creative fashion that you would never sort of think of if you're just like speedrunning the base game, right? The base game speedrun, right? Same set of tricks, same set of routes, not really going to change much between runners. Although it does for Ori, because Ori is a very special and incredible game. But in the randomizer, there are thousands upon thousands of different iterations, different skill combinations that our runners are going to have to manage and be able to utilize in order to be able to succinctly finish a seed in the fastest possible time. And it's not simple, it's not easy, and it's very, very cool to see our runners adapt and be able to utilize these skills to go through sections in unique ways every single seed they play.
Yeah, that's why I love the randomizer so much, because like earlier we had the master seed and we saw a lot of the late game, but for this seed it's like we're seeing a lot of the early game, and it's nice to see the routing that they're deciding to do. And that's what I love co-op so much, is the fact that like, you know, you're in the same seed and you're still doing the same thing, but you're doing different showcases, or like you're showing off different parts of the game.
I think this is gonna kill my Frankie, but this isn't a problem. Wait, why didn't that? I don't know why that level up explosion didn't damage him at all. I don't know what happened.
They may have changed
That's actually
that.
Yeah, Smashy is completely correct.
Okay.
So this is actually introduced in the most recent version of the randomizer itself. So teleporting out, and if you get that level up, it does not actually kill the Frankie anymore. That is very, very cool. And so the reason why that's important, chat, if you're unfamiliar with this game and the randomizer itself, is that if that Frankie dies, it does not respawn. It's one of the few enemies within the entire game that does not respawn if it dies. So just very, very cool that the randomizer developers realize this, and so increases quality of life as well as allowing us to keep that experience pickup, right? Because otherwise we would have had to see a complete sort of refresh from Fresh in order to bring that Frankie back to life if they backloaded.
Can you say that?
But yeah, no longer.
Here we have a very ineffective laser that you can just duck under at some key spots.
Yeah.
Get a haircut.
Yeah.
What was that? It flashed at. Wait, that's so weird.
It is.
It must have been a graphical glitch.
So it. Oh God, I'm not even gonna explain it. It's just it is weird.
Okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, runners are currently just continuing to go through. They do have access to another skill location if they choose to decide it, to go up to Charge Flame Tree if they want to. But really, something to just explain really quickly is that our runners are not racing. They're not opponents. In fact, they are working together. So our runners are running on different seeds, which basically means what they find at X pickup location is going to be different. However, skills, teleporters, objectives are shared between our two runners. So if one runner activates a tree, the other runner does not have to go and go to that skill location in order to be able to have progress. So same thing with skills. And in fact, only one seed has a skill, right? So there are 11 skills within Ori and the Blind Forest, but only one of our runners actually has that skill. So for instance, if Smashy has grenade in her seed, Fresh is not going to have a grenade pickup in their seed. So it really is up to each of our runners to tackle certain areas, certain pickup locations, to be able to find that one nut of progression for both of our runners to be able to progress into the mid and late game sections.
Okay, if I could break into Spirit Caverns using the energy door. Okay. Does that?
Oh, okay.
What does that give for us?
Nothing right now.
I can break into Spirit Caverns from the back to save keystones and then spend them on Growth TP. But I'm probably going to get enough keystones in Spirit Caverns anyways.
So for Smashy and Fresh, that gives you logical.
Oh wait, and I broke the crystal.
That gives you logical progression into Grotto, as well as the right side of the map. So the entire right side is now open. Yeah.
I'll go to the Grotto if you want to go.
Oh yeah, you could. Now that stomp was in an interesting location too.
You get it.
Okay. I might as well do.
Poor Frankie.
I don't need him anymore.
Actually,
So as we're like progressing, so as Covert was saying, the right side of the map. So the right side of the map, we have access to like Grotto, which is where Smashy is, and then we have Swamp and all the fun stuff like that. But the thing that we're trying to do in this particular seed, the last seed with the master had shards and Forcetrees. For this one, we have clues. So if Covert, you could take over on the clues part.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, in order to make the randomizer more interesting and more fun, we add a constraint before we're allowed to start the final escape, right? Because so like end timing and speedrunning, it's usually when you start credits in a video game, or like the final cutscene that leads into credits. So for the sake of Ori and the Blind Forest, all we would actually need to do is to go to Mount Horu and start and finish the final escape, right? So all you would need is Sunstone, as well as the skills necessary to be able to make it through the final escape. So, but that's boring, right? We want to add more content. We want to add more areas that we have to go to in order to be able to get through and finish a seed. So literally, we have it coded within the randomizer for the settings that our runners are currently running on to have to go and activate all 11 skill locations before we're allowed to be able to and capable to start the final escape. Like literally, the randomizer will not allow Smashy nor Fresh to be able to start the final escape until they activate all the skill locations. So beyond that, we also need some additional stuff, right? We need the skills necessary to get to those skill locations. We need to get the skills and resources necessary to be able to start and finish the final escape, right? So there's still a lot of additional content that our runners have to do outside of that core objective. So one of those things that we need is we need at least 2 of the dungeon keys in order to be able to finish the seed, unless we find something else, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. And those 2 dungeon keys are going to be Water Vein and Sunstone. So Water Vein gets us access to Ginso Tree, which is going to have a skill location in it. And then Sunstone gets us access to Mount Horu, which has the final escape, which brings us to the end credits of the entire game itself. So that being said, in order to there's 256 pickups in the randomizer itself for the sake of checking stuff. And right when the randomizer first launched by Sigma Sign, he released like a seed pack, and we were all just hanging out in Discord, like 6 of us for weeks, just like trying them out. And one thing that we realized is that tracking down the dungeon keys was absolutely cursed and terrible. So to make it so that we don't need to find a needle in a proverbial haystack every single seed that you end up playing, we added this system known as clues. So what clues is that after our runners activate 3 of the 10 tracked skill locations, they will get a clue as to which biome holds one of the 3 dungeon keys, right? Because there's also Gumon Seal, which opens up Forlorn, which we never want to go to unless you love Forlorn like I do. But that being said, after we then find after we activate 6 skill locations, after we activate 9 skill locations, we then find another clue as to which biome holds another dungeon key. So which dungeon key gets revealed first is randomized, as well as the biomes that they're in. But it's just a nice way to be able to just consistently be able to go through a seed without having to check 90% of pickups every single time we go through. So love the clue system. It's very, very good.
Okay, I think after I do this mapstone at Blackroot Teleporter, I think my only option is to energy glitch my way into... Oh, never mind. Energy glitch my way into Death Gauntlet?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you also have Stomp for the peg, right, to the right side, and then you can just
that's
climb
true.
up normally.
That's right.
Yeah. Cool. Don't worry, I got you fresh.
Actually, I could have used Stomp to get into Valley entrance too, which I assume is what Smashy just did.
Nope.
Or did you find Valley? Oh, okay. Well, I am going down to Double Jump Tree, I guess.
So Valley Teleporter is actually a really massive find for our runners, because this gets us access to the left side of the map, which is going to have 3 skill locations. And in all honesty, right, getting access to the left side can be just incredibly cursed. Our runners could get to Valley proper without finding that teleporter, but it's just it's terrible. It's without bash. It's very, very painful. Both literally and figuratively. There we go, words.
Honestly, you did a great job cover on explaining.
Oh, thank you.
There was a lot of information there that was very helpful and insightful because, yeah, a lot of this game, it's...
Oh, I'm here. Oh, no.
Especially the randomizer.
Is that where I thought I saved?
Same, yeah. Especially with the randomizer and having so many options and so many ways to play, it's very helpful to know for anyone who wants to play the randomizer. The information you're providing is very, very helpful.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but then also you don't need a lot to like try it out, right? You don't need to be as amazingly skilled as both of our speedrunners that we're showcasing here tonight to try it out. In fact, if you just go to oryrando.com, and then above the top we have some links as well as just like menus, but we also have a lot of information about the randomizer, and we have a quick start guide, right? So if you don't want to like write an encyclopedia about all the different things about speedrunning the randomizer, you can just try it out yourself. But there, yeah, on the left, Smashy is just going to be circling that. We got our first clue, which is going to be that water vein, which gets us access to Ginso Tree, is going to be in Grove. And Grove is honestly like one of the spookier sections to have a dungeon key, because there's a lot of different things that are locked behind the only 2 hard locks in the entire Ori Rando. But then also there's just a lot of different skill sets and potential that our runners are going to be finding as they progress through. So being able to check every single pickup in a certain biome once you get that clue is going to be important. And our runners definitely are way far away from having everything they need to be able to check all the pickups in Grove. So hopefully it's in a nice location, but if it's not, we could buckle up, chat. We could be here for a while.
Wait a minute. Am I screwed? What happened here?
Let me see.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
So what happened is you saved the game a little bit too early. You can still Alt-R out of that, or you can backload. That's up to you. So if you just mashed Alt-R, it would have allowed you to teleport out, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a very rare and unknown thing. But it is useful in those situations where you get into infinite death loops that we saw from Fresh on the right. But yeah, Fresh is going to be setting up for a sequence break here, which is going to be activating Save Anywhere, which just allows us to move around with the ability menu. Then leveling up an ability will actually end up saving the game. So Fresh is going to try and wait as long as possible and then level an ability to save the game, and quitting the menu and reloading is going to cause them to displace themselves downwards. Nicely done.
We're not rewarded.
Yeah, so Fresh just found the 1 EXB pickup, which there is exactly one of those within the seed itself. And it's an homage to sort of the randomizer that the original developer based this randomizer off of, which is A Link to the Past. And so there's a single 1 arrow pickup in A Link to the Past Rando. And so Sigma added in a single 1 EXP pickup to pay homage to that. So shout out to you, Sig. Love you, man. Cool. Yeah, so runners right now, they do have the capability of going to additional skill locations, but really, honestly, what they're looking for is anything. Any skill. Somewhere, please, dear
progression,
goodness, right?
basically, on the skill.
Yeah. They've been stuck on charge, jump, and climb, as well as, I guess, stomp and sign. But like charge, jump, and climb is the main skills that they've had. So like literally anything. Blue breakage with charge flame, with grenades, maybe glide or double jump for some air retention, bash or dash, any power skill, right? Because theory wise, I guess I won't go in too much detail unless I need to blab my mouth more, but like in order to finish every single randomized seed, you need at least 1, if not 2 of the 3 power skills, which once again are charge, jump, bash, and dash are the 3 most powerful skills in the rando. So you either need 1 or both. And right now, if they do find grenade, it is technically go mode, but really they're hoping to find either bash or dash to help out in the mid and end game portions of the seed.
Are you already on your way to Grotto TP?
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Okay. I guess I can go this way anyways.
Cool. Yeah, so once again, this is a co-op run, so our runners are just kind of like strategizing what parts of the map that they want to go to, because not only are skills and teleporters shared, right? Boom, Smashy just ended up grabbing Grotto TP, and we see that as a pickup that just showed up on Fresh's screen on the right. But also objectives are going to be shared as well. So activating skill locations, because once again, we have to activate all 11 skill locations before we are capable of starting and finishing the final escape, which brings us to the end credits of the entire game. So our runners are just strategizing which biomes that they go to, making sure that they're not progressing towards the same skill location, because only one of them actually needs to activate that.
I would love to have energy right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I'm actually also finding the one EXP pickup.
No.
Shoutouts to say. It's so good. These seeds are absolutely validated. I love it. Love to see it.
The only way, right?
Yep.
But yes, in order to kind of like right now, that blue breakage would be very nice.
Yeah.
Because you know, all those plants that they're missing or like they're overgoing and they can't like break or anything like that, those are more items to pick up essentially. And so it's unfortunate that, you know, they're gonna, if they don't get any blue breakage and they're not able to find something pretty soon, they're gonna have to backtrack to get all of that if there's something important inside them.
Yeah, so like when I'm like coaching people in Rando and stuff, which I've done a good amount for like every single tournament, is like really backtracking is one of the most significant forms of time loss when you're bringing down your average in a Rando itself. And so with starting with charge jump, honestly, is like one of the best skills to like reduce the potential for backtracking in a seed itself. But then also, as Rue was mentioning, is that we don't have the capability of actually checking a very significant portion of pickups. And also because there's 2 different in logic as well as 3 different forms in general of breaking blue things to check additional pickups, there could be an important skill, important teleporter on one of those pickup locations. So like having to go back later on to check those pickups that they missed can be a very significant form of time loss and costs our runners, honestly, minutes when they're going through the seed in general. And it's also really tricky in co-op, right? Like, it seems like the average times would be reduced for our runners because they're working together, but that's not the case. Our runners are not only running separate seeds, which have different randomized pickups at each location, but also there's only one instance of a certain skill in both seeds combined, right? So only one runner has bash, only one runner has grenade in their seed itself. So not only is like blue breakage like a really critical element for being able to reduce backtracking, but it's actually a lot lower probability that when an individual runner checks a pickup, whether or not it is going to be a useful skill that will allow our runners to progress more throughout the seed. Cool. Boom. But yeah, just sort of as an update, Smashy is just continuing to work through Swamp. We do, once again, have the capability for getting to various pickup locations, especially if our runners end up using glitches such as like the pause floats and stuff like that. But in all honesty, it's like pretty cursed to do so. So what our runners are currently doing...
Pause float.
Yeah, no worries. Our runners are just... Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Our runners are just like trying to just check stuff to find that next bit of progression, which will allow them to have a much more fluid and much easier time. So like the story of last seed is that they started with bash, which made the map cursed because it opened up like almost everything. But then also the story for this seed is that our runners have a very bare bones skill set, which is not what they want. Because it's going to be a lot more taxing. So they're just being a lot more thorough this seed, checking a lot more stuff to just try and hope and find that one thing that is going to allow them to progress.
Now, we are in 2 different spots. I know that we're kind of still checking Grotto and everything like that just to find that. I'm hoping it's going to be either blue breakage or maybe dash. Dash would even be nice. Fun fact about dash is in the ability tree, I forgot the exact name of the ability, but it's essentially that if you climb the tree and you get this ability, it will help break those like plants and everything like that.
Charge dash.
Yeah, charge dash.
Charge dash. That's what it was. Thank you.
Yes. I always forget that too.
Me too.
Get charge dash and then skip all of the plants.
And then we have
realizing I can break
stomp.
them.
We have stomp, so we could actually charge dash, cancel it with stomp, and save our energy.
Exactly.
Yeah, so basically what our folks are alluding to is that in the ability menu, once you get charge dash, it allows us to augment dash to be able to spend 1 energy to be able to do a damaging attack that homes on enemies but also breaks blue things. However, we have various ways as speedrunners to be able to mitigate that energy cost, which is fascinating. It's all through various forms of being able to refund that energy itself. So if we find dash, that's going to be really cool because stomp, as Smashy mentioned, is one of the ways that we have to refund that energy. So I really do hope we find dash this seed, but right now I'm just really hoping for anything. Literally anything. One thing for our runners, please.
Yeah. Send I don't know, not an energy cell, but send a skill.
Oh, what am I doing?
Fresh. That is a very scary spot. I've taken many a death there.
But now I don't have health to swim in the poison. Oops.
Okay, get that purple drink.
It tastes like purple. I definitely have to say that purple drink is not something you want to drink. Not in this game, anyways.
Yeah. Especially if you like, I mean, I learned my lesson as a small, young, little muffin child by watching the Power Rangers movies, like Ivan Ooze, right? Just get away from that purple drink entirely.
Oh.
But yeah, so they're Fresh actually is going to backload because they accidentally activated a cutscene which spawned a door, and like they could end up just like doing that room normally in order to be able to break open that door. However, it's just like it's a lot faster, honestly, to just backload and then go for the cutscene skip instead. So nice stuff from Fresh being just like heads up, recognizing that instead of just doing that room normally, that they just want to backload for safety. Cool. But I'm sorry, Rue, I cut you off. Let me know.
No, it's okay. You're all good. I was just going to ask about when you were a small little muffin child. And so I'm thinking, like, when I hear or see purple, I'm thinking, like, blueberry muffin? So can I say that you were a small little blueberry muffin child? I don't know.
Sure, go for it. I'm down. Blueberry muffins. I mean, okay, chat, look, I do not condone cannibalism, all right? But like, blueberry muffins are my second favorite.
Ooh, I do not condone blueberry muffins, but I can make an exception.
Whoa! Okay, Fresh, we can no longer be friends. I'm not hanging out with you at GDQ.
Oh,
No!
I'm just kidding.
What is everyone's favorite muffin, so to speak?
You monsters. You're actively opening up a forum to talk about eating my own kind. This is... I resent this. No, I'm just kidding.
But the chocolate chip and lemon poppy seed, they're so sweet.
Oh, heck yeah. Dude, banana.
Banana, though.
Oh, wait,
Banana's
actually...
good.
Okay, I've had some really good pumpkin chocolate chip ones.
Ooh.
That might be.
Oh, that's fair. That's valid. But banana is my good all-time go-to, I have to admit.
Heck yeah. Team banana.
But pumpkin chocolate is up there, though. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good combo.
That is a good combo. Oh. But banana nut, though, like when you have a great banana nut, though, so good.
I'm into it.
I don't even know if I've had a banana nut muffin.
Oh, it's so good.
I can't believe this. Just finding out live on stream.
We'll have to make some at GDQ.
Yes.
Just make muffins. Just come over to my Airbnb and we'll make muffins.
Yes.
Cool. cool.
Nice.
All right, so just a little bit of an update for our runners is like, they're running out of pickups, chat. Like, not really much on this map that our runners could potentially go to in order to be able to find that next skill, that next bit of progression that's going to allow them to move through. Once again, our runners have the capability of doing cursed stuff in order to be able to get access to more skill locations, but it is heavily advised not to do so. Like, I am here saying, please don't. But yeah, like in this early game section, the right side of the map, right, like our runners have a power skill and wall interaction. This actually honestly opens up a lot. And this could have happened last seed with the master logic. But here we're running on like a tier that's different, that's going to have less paths that are open up to our runners, which is known as expert. But our runners could choose to do these cursed things if they truly desired. Yeah, but yeah, we're running out of pickups, so we're probably going to honestly find progression pretty soon. So Smashy on the left is going to be checking a Poison Swim, which is out of logic, actually. Just finds 84 experience, which is a pretty low value, so Clean Water could come up pretty early in the seed still. We have no idea, but it's like one of our runners would have to find that. But meanwhile, on the right, we see our fabled runner trying to do some really difficult stuff. I think it's possible to do it with just climb, charge, jump. Yeah, beautiful. Wow, Fresh. That was really clean. That was awesome, man.
Thank you. I'm not sure I knew about the new discovery.
Dude, that is like the story of Rando. It's like, hey, I've never done that before. Like every single seed you run. And that's why I love Rando, especially compared to like a normal speed run of the games, just because there are these thousands and thousands of iterations of like applying skills in different ways and facets that you would never see in like a normal speed run of the base game itself. However, in Rando, like you do need to be savvy. You do need to be like attuned into that if you want to lower your average time. But yeah, once again, like all this stuff our speedrunners are doing, you don't need to be as clever and as amazing and good as Fresh and Smashy, right? Like you can try the Rando out without having any speedrun knowledge, period. So if you go to orirando.com, we do have a quote unquote casual setting for logic, which removes like two things that you would be expected to know on standard logic. So yeah, definitely check it out. orirando.com. orirando.com.
Trying to think of what I have left. I suppose there is all the stuff around Stomp Tree.
Yeah,
I already did the Death Gauntlet Roof. There is the Long XP in Grotto.
You can open your map up as well, Fresh, and use the in logic filter to just see what the game expects you to be capable of doing.
Yeah. Oh, there's also Butter Cell.
Cool. Yeah, so on Fresh's side, this is actually a recent development in the randomizer. You'll notice that at the top middle, it says in logic in those blue words. And so those are not showing every single pickup location. It's only showing the pickups that the randomizer expects our runners to be capable of being able to check, which is a very, very cool thing. And like, you don't need to download anything extra. You don't need to open up a web browser anymore. All you need to do is literally have the randomizer installed and then just open up your map and it'll show you this. Then we can also actually switch it to the different mode, which is just showing all of the pickups on the map itself, which is very, very cool. So major shout outs for the incredible approachability feature that our randomizer developers have put into the game itself. Very cool.
Yeah. Everything is pretty spread out for me right now. I think probably the Stomp Tree is the most concentrated, which is pretty out of the way for it to have the most items.
Right.
So I'm surprised I didn't see on the in-logic map the climb in Valley, because we have Valley TP and what is it? We have the ability to climb that shaft. So like, and we can break the wall there. I don't know if we can get very high above that.
Yeah, no, I think
we could
Bird Stomp ability cell and not Facts, but the Fast Stompless ability cell are probably the only two in Logic and Valley right now. but I am unsure. It'll be completely clear with you, Twitch chat. This seed is definitely, I love this. Like, thank you guys for like doing 2 seeds, because the first seed was just absolutely cursed skill-wise, but like you had a purpose. You knew exactly like what to do, where to go. But in this one, like this is a brain teaser. This is really difficult because there's probably just one single pickup out there which is going to have that skill. And honestly, right now, this is increasing the probability that Bash is going to be logical progression. Bash plus Stomp is like one of the most cursed things that you can get for trying to track down other like power skills or other just skills in general. So my thoughts is that I am pretty certain at this point that the highest probability next pickup that they'll find is going to be Bash, or it's going to be something that leads them to Bash. Could be Sorrow Teleporter, could be Clean Water, could be a number of other things, like maybe another skill like Dash, or maybe Glide and like with Wind Restored, right? It's like, so there's a lot of stuff that it quote unquote could be, but we are still unsure. Also, Smashy, with that clue about Water Vein being in Grove, has not found Water Vein yet. And that's like pretty massive for the state of the seed itself, because like tracking down Water Vein could be that next bit of progression that's going to open up an entire dungeon for both of our runners, which has a lot of pickups. And especially on Expert with Climb, Charge, Jump, yeah, you better bet your biscuits that like Ginso is open as all heck.
Oh shoot. No.
That hint for Grove probably means Horror Fields. If
It might. I got a couple more.
Or Blue Break. If
I got a couple more things to check here.
okay. I took the wrong path to get to this one proper.
Is this a buttersquash one?
There it is.
Oh yeah, it's called Buttercell, yeah.
Butterscotch. I kept on calling. Oh, we found Water Vein. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's a horrible spot.
Where was it? Was it Buttercell?
Buttercell.
Yeah, it was butter.
Nice.
At least we had
I
Stomp.
can't believe it's butter.
I can't believe it's Buttercell.
Earlier, when
All
biscuits were being said, I kind of want some butter biscuits now. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, we're talking about muffins. We're talking about butter.
Yeah.
This is like the American dream right there.
Exactly. So with the Water Vein, it is an important find because now we're actually having more access to other, to the first dungeon, essentially. And this is the Gitzo tree. For anyone new coming in, Gitzo tree is beautiful. As you can see, it's a tree with spiky things and enemies. And it's technically the home to the skill Bash, but in the randomizer, we do not know that. Bash might be somewhere else. But essentially, right now, as we're watching the progression on Smashy's side, Fresh is continuously just trying to find other pickups and getting the skills, but I'm wondering what the logic is going on between the both of you right now. Like, are we trying to find more skills? Are we trying to...
any progression. I'm just... Oh, speaking of which, we now have grenade jumps.
Yeah.
So I'll show that off in a second. But so I was just over here since this was kind of my my biggest cluster of items before Water Vein was picked up, and I was already over here. So good choice by me to stick with it, I guess. But
so with Valley Teleporter and grenade jumps, this is the meme in the community. It's like I posted an image. It's like, is this? It's the one where the guy's like holding up his hand to the butterfly. It's like, is this a butterfly? And I just like I made a Triforce with the 3 skills. It's like, is this go mode? And yes, it is. Our runners are technically capable of checking every single pickup on the map now. And I absolutely love it. I almost dropped another F-bomb. But I spared you, Ray. So, but yeah, it's beautiful. This is a great seed, especially for expert logic.
And we get grenade jumps, your most favorite. To give some context, grenade jumps were like at the very beginning when The Ori community was coming around, and the DE, and it was just like around 2017, I want to say. And before grenade jumps, it was very fascinating to watch how they would finish the end. But with the discovery of grenade jumps, it saved, I forgot, it was a ton of time at the end of the game. But if you don't do the grenade setup properly, the grenade jump properly, you could potentially soft lock.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, so in the final escape, there's a single grenade. Like, we keep saying grenade jump without actually explaining it. So on the right, Fresh is going to be showcasing this off. So if you do a climb charge jump off of a wall, but you throw a grenade 1/60th of a second before you jump off of the wall, then you end up doing the zoomie. You get the zoomie. And so these can be done all over the place. And in the final escape, there is one that does save like over 30 seconds, I believe, which is very, very significant. So like everybody who runs the base game, specifically all skills, no out of bounds, no teleport anywhere, everybody does that for that one specific one. But there are other grenade jumps to be able to do all over the place, because grenade jumping is actually the second fastest form of movement in the entire game itself. Only being second compared to using horizontal uncanceled charge dashes, which it really, like, charge dashes aren't actually all that much faster. So grenade jumps, incredible tech for both movement wise and also for skipping various cutscenes and stuff like that. Yeah.
And we finally have blue break.
Yay!
Which I remembered at the last second.
Yeah, Smashy's like, oh no. Because as Rue was mentioning earlier in this cast, right, like all those blue plants now, those have pickups on them, so they could be the next big thing to unlock our runners' capability of being able to finish out the seed. Our runners technically are in go mode. The last thing that they technically need, you can't see me, chat, but I'm doing heavy quotation marks here with my hands. But like technically the only thing that they need is going to be Sunstone. But as we saw from Smashy's side, they are going to have to actually activate 9 skill locations before they are going to be able to get that hint as to where Sunstone is on the map. So that's really kind of unlucky and really bad news for them. But yeah, so this could be a pretty short seed finishing up, but this also could be an incredibly long seed. And it's like we're kind of just sitting on those pins and needles to find out which case we are going to be dealing with as we progress into the late game portions of the seed. Oh, beautiful boss fight, Smashy. Yeah, so just sitting above the elemental, you can just stomp non-stop in order to take it out. It is a little bit faster to use charge jump, but Smashy was on low health. So instead they use a very cool sort of adaptation to just guarantee they're able to get through that boss fight without any struggle. Cool stuff. Love it.
The other thing I liked is getting that Ginso teleporter so that Fresh has the ability to kind of...
Yeah,
I mean, Fresh
if we ever need to come back.
Yeah, it's good.
I didn't want to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, cool thing here's that Fresh doesn't actually have to open up this 4-key door anymore for themselves. They can just take the teleporter. So very cool sort of co-op thing, which is very nuanced, that Fresh is able to save those resources if they so desire, while still being able to check all the pickups that Smashy has been tackling so far.
I think at this point, going to Valley makes sense. Just start doing left side. See if I can remember how to do this. Oh, that's bad.
Oh no, yeah.
Actually, this is fine.
Yeah, so if you do a full grenade jump with an upward angle, that's the normal setup I go for. But then what you did is also good. Maybe going a little bit higher on the right wall and then going under the rocks to break it from below is going to be easier than navigating the birds. Yeah, so I apologize. This was a lot of like jargon and stuff from one speedrunner to another speedrunner. But on the right, Fresh, what they did was they stacked 2 cutscenes, removing the instant kill death plane. So here are going to be the birds, and all Fresh has to do is stomp the rocks. Nicely done.
That was gorgeous.
I'm shocked how well this went. I'm not very good at cutscene stack stuff.
Nicely done, though.
Yeah, and just remember after you get glide tree to quit to menu and reload.
Yes.
So Fresh just made that look incredibly easy, even though it was not. But on the left, yes, Smashy, I love you. Oh, this is so good. So Smashy is now going to be heading into Ginso Escape without Bash itself, without double jump, without glide. No. And yes, and this is incredibly difficult to do. This is very technical, but Smashy, just being a seasoned speedrunner, what they actually did was they actually glitched out the escape sequence, because you'll notice that there actually isn't any water that is going to be chasing Smashy. And so doing a save and then a quit to menu and then coming back into the escape allows Smashy to be able to go through without having to worry about the instant kill death water that follows them. So far, only finding a map stone, which honestly could actually be incredibly important for the seed itself. But Smashy's just continuing to make quick work. But the very end of Ginso Escape, chat, is where you really want to be watching the left side of your screen, because there's going to be a very difficult section to navigate, and you never do this in a normal speedrun. You only do this in randomizer speedruns. Yeah, okay, so on the left, Smashy is going to be coming up, doesn't have Bash, so they cannot grab onto these projectiles. So just doing a climb charge jump to get over, taking down that Frankie, nicely done, and then it's going to be coming up, and this is it. This is the incredibly difficult section. So we're going to see how Smashy decides to navigate through here. It's going to be setting up nice grenade jump there in order to be able to get over without taking damage. Gets hit by the spider, so they have to be incredibly careful. Yeah, I like this. I like the safety with taking down the spider before continuing on. Just give Smashy more time to be able to sort of line up using that mouse cursor, which is a randomizer specific feature for the escape. And so we're going to see what is at the very top here. It is going to be a single pickup. It's just a health cell.
Hey, that's all fun. That's fun. And two maps.
It is. Yeah, so the health cell is good, as Smashy was alluding to, because they have to go through Sorrow Pass to be able to get to that skill location itself, as well as going through this water, which isn't clean because we haven't found clean water as a pickup itself. So the water is still poisonous. As on the right, Fresh is trying to navigate up vertically through Valley, maybe potentially making a play for Sorrow itself, which is honestly very scary.
Yeah, especially...
Go on.
Oh, especially without glide. Like, doing this without glide or Bash, for that matter. Yeah. Like, if you had Bash, it would be doable, but glide, like glideless and Bashless, this is very impressive on the right-hand side with Fresh.
It is.
Well, I'm not doing it just yet. I'm gonna look for a few more items. I commit to that. Ooh, another map stone? Oh, that means
so I'm curious about with all these map stones, is there something on the map stone? So the map stones is a item pickup, and there are, I believe 9 map stones on the entire world. And
there's 9 pedestals, but there's actually 11 map stones.
Oh, gotcha.
In the world.
So 11 map stones themselves, the items themselves, but 9 pedestals. Essentially, when you do turn one in, you do get an item out of it. So, like, as we saw from Smashy on the left-hand side with the energy regen, that is pretty much, now that we have these this many map stones, maybe it's in logic to turn in the map stones, as well as look for the, breaking the blue plants, which I do like that as a backup. Because sometimes there's what in the community will do is, Fresh. What is it? It's like backup saves, or what is it called when you're save scrubbing, I think? Is when you're like save and then scummy. That's what it is. There it is.
I already got these. That's right.
It's just backloading. Yeah, so funny story about that actually in terms of map stones is the way that it used to work is that each pedestal that you would turn into map stone was its own unique pickup. However, now that is no longer the case. It is sequential, right? So after you turn in your first map stone, irregardless of which pedestal you get into, you get that item, right? So like map 1 turn in is a specific pickup, map 2 is a specific pickup, et cetera, and so on and so forth. But it used to not be that. It used to be the pedestals had their own unique pickups. And so like what we would do as speedrunners is turn in a map stone. If it wasn't there, then we would just quit the menu and backload in order to be able to just turn that map stone in at another pedestal. And Sigma Sign hated that. He was just Okay.
That's a
that
good
is massive.
find.
But
That
yes,
is.
Sigma hated the backloading strats, so he programmed it differently after that. After you saw me do it a few times, it's like, that's dumb. But we just found Sunstone, so technically our runners are in go mode.
They could complete the game. Well, they finished getting the rest of the skills, but they could complete the game. Oh, Fresh. I feel
not
you.
doing great.
No, you're
Take
doing
my energy,
amazing.
Fresh.
You're doing amazing because this is really extremely hard at what you're doing right now.
It is, yeah, truly.
If I can just dodge these birds. There we go. Goodbye, Wilhelm.
That Wilhelm scream, ever since I've heard that scream, I hear it in so many movies now. So many.
Yeah, like 80s and 90s era, they use the Wilhelm scream so many times. I just absolutely love that.
Yes, I do.
Oh. I don't know if I have the health for this.
Do you know how to zombie
which one?
Ori, Fresh?
I do. I'm not good with using it, but I do know
that's
how
fair.
to do it.
Word. So you do have enough health, Fresh, to do this. It's just going to be a little bit easier if you just like set up just a single save. Oh, you don't have ultra defense. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. But I might be able to. Yeah, I could get it. So
Yeah. You need
Let's do it.
either ultra defense or you need to zombie. Yeah. So on the right, Fresh is trying to go for an incredibly difficult damage boost. So Ultra Defense, what it does is that actually reduces the amount of damage that Fresh takes up to about 50%, depending on the damage source. It's a little bit less on these high damage spikes. But here with Ultra Defense, it actually reduces the damage down to 3 that he ends up taking when he lands on these spikes. And that is going to allow him to basically set up, because you need, with the skills that Fresh has currently, you need to take at least 2 damage boosts in order to be able to get over. Maybe using the left side for the second landing, unless you're like practice on the right.
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool. Nice job.
okay.
Nice adjustment. That
was-
is incredibly difficult, but also like something to mention is that basically Ori walls and like landable locations are exactly as they are drawn. So what you see is what you get, okay? And then landing on spikes causes you to get damage boosted backwards. So basically for Fresh's trouble, the really difficult thing is that in that section, there's not really that many spots that you can land on for that second damage boost. Then starting a charge jump before you actually like proc another damage from the spikes, very difficult, very tight. Fresh just made that look very easy. So nicely done, man. That was really cool stuff.
Thank you. Ooh, good frog. Good timing.
Kobe.
I'm sure this works.
Yeah, you can do it from the left side if you do a grenade jump.
Got it.
Nice.
I'm not sure. Do you just have to be good with timing to not reclimb and like not grab the other wall?
Yeah, I just
Or is
let
it-
go of climb immediately after I do the jump inputs.
Oh yeah, so you like have a little
Oh,
fall.
I just held away. That looked better.
Oh,
Yo, nice.
nice.
Yeah, so what we were just talking about, I apologize, chat, is basically when you grenade jump, so like climb, charge, jump is sort of the core, and then you throw a grenade 1/60th of a second before you press that jump key. But if you're still holding on to climb, Ori's really good as a video game with buffering inputs, which basically means that holding down climb, if Fresh hits another wall after the grenade jump, then they will just stop moving and they'll climb onto that wall. So letting go of
okay.
climb.
That's a good one.
Oh, wow. That is a massive find from Fresh. That is massive. That is really, really big. So Sorrow Teleporter is going to make getting access to the skill location a bajillion times easier. And that's like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
really, really good. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's good for Smashy as well, so she could take it as well. But what's funny is Sorrow Teleporter beat it Sorrow.
Yes.
That's that right
Actually,
there
this is. This was a questionable teleport because now if I want to get back to the rest, Actually, I can go down from the other direction. This
Correct,
not bad. So I wouldn't have to do.
Right, the bird.
I wouldn't have to break into Sorrow again.
Exactly. Yeah, you can just use the like casual route from the waypoint to get out. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it's honestly not over yet. Like Fresh is going to come up to a really difficult screen after this, after they stomp this floor, which is this one right here with the 2 spiders. So basically, Fresh is going to have to nail a grenade jump here or take a sequence of damage boosts to get through. The grenade jump's probably going to be a bit easier if they drop down from the platform and hug that wall. And then they will have to either damage boost or nail it. Nice grenade jump there, getting that first try. Very impressive. That is a 1/60th of a second timing press. Then they have a few options here. They can use a charge jump. No, okay, so they're going to get into a little bit of a nook, which is on the left side of those walls in particular, and then just jump and stomp. It's almost a frame perfect thing. I think it's within 2 to 3 frames, depending on which wall you're going towards, but it is a very difficult, very precise trick. So nicely done from Fresh. They made that section look very easy. Meanwhile, Smashy on the left, just continuing through Valley proper, just trying to get through, check some additional pickups, right? Because once again, right, like we were on climb charge jump for the grand majority of the seed thus far, and that is like, that's not enough. That's not easy. That's not nice. And then what did they find? They found stomp. They found grenade. And so this is still not a nice skill set to be able to finish out the seed. They don't have air retention. They don't have dash. They don't have double jump. They don't have glide. They don't have either of the 2 power skills, which are still somewhere on the map, which is going to be bash and dash. So our runners, they could finish the seed with this skill set, but surely do not want to.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, stop moving, camera. I'm heading to Grenade Tree.
Okay.
Nice. That was a beautiful grenade jump into Grenade Tree? Yeah.
Boom. Coming full circle.
Yes. Sorrow is in Sorrow. The Sorrow Teleport is in Sorrow. And then now we're having the grenade jumps in the Grenade Tree. I love that though. That's what I love about Ori too, is just the silly. Like, the community is amazing, and anyone that wants to get involved with the community, always check out the Discord. There's also the OriRando.com to get involved if anyone wants to start.
I went too fast for the camera.
You did. That's why I started. But yeah, so essentially, no, that's why I love the randomizer. It's just you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's super welcoming, super kind.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right.
Sorry.
Are we gonna get a bit of story time here? We are. Okay, so one of the longer cutscenes within the speedrun.
Yeah, this is one of the worst ones. What is happening? Apollo is freaking out.
But yeah, everybody is super welcoming, super kind. And, like, literally seconds after people post questions about like speedrunning the base game or like trying out the randomizer and stuff, like somebody responds. It's incredible. And there are so. Oh yeah, I actually don't know if
I don't know if you can do this.
I don't think so. If you go to OriRando.com, we do have a link to the Discord, or you can go to speedrun.com/Ori_DE, and that will also have a link to our Discord. It's open to public. You don't need to speedrun to join it. And everybody is super incredibly friendly and welcoming. And once again, you don't need to be a speedrunner to try out the randomizer itself. We do have settings for people that have absolutely zero knowledge or information about the game itself. Probably one of my proudest accomplishments, in all honesty, was convincing my friend Blood Thunder to just try out the randomizer. Because they played the game normally, they're like, "Oh, this is cool." It's like, "You should try Rando. You should try Rando." And then eventually they did, and then they got like completely obsessed with it. It is that good. It is that fun. It's amazing. Also, I love you, BT.
Know if this is worth.
Actually, let's go.
Actually, this is definitely not worth. I don't know what hiccups I'm trying to get to faster with this.
Yeah, it's all good. So you have 2 options. One is one of you could try and make their way to Climb Tree, and the other is just people can just like open their map and check like various pickups to just check in order to make the final escape. But the good news is that you folks have ultra defense. You have a lot of health. So the final escape, like you don't have to nail all those grenade jumps to be able to get through it. But yeah, that final room is going to be really tricky because you do have to nail a grenade jump in a really particular fashion that I don't know if you folks are comfortable with or not. But I can help talk you through it if you also want to go.
Are you talking about the one off the rock?
Yeah, the one off the rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I know of it, but I don't.
It's honestly very simple. It's a pretty easy setup.
I could try it, honestly. Like,
sure. Cool. All right, I am here for you. I will do whatever you folks need to support you. I got you.
I can't believe I haven't gotten the Rando mapstone. Oh.
I am curious where Dash and Bash and Glide are.
Honestly, probably Forlorn Escape again. Let's be just completely honest with ourselves here.
Yeah. I mean, we just gotta say Forlorn. I do love Forlorn.
I really like this this grenade jump if I can land it. Oh no, I'm in the place.
Oh, this one, yeah. This one's so good.
Come on.
It's tough without double jump or glide to set it up, but it is so good.
Oh, that's close enough.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you got it. Boom. Nice. Yeah, so on the right, just going through Pillar Puzzle, checking some stuff fresh is just trying to still find out one thing that's going to make not only the final escape a lot more sort of approachable, but then also getting through Misty Woods in order to make it to their final skill location. Oh, what? Spike shot!
What?
It tickled your toe.
It did. Wow. Oh, that is quite. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I
think I was like just on the correct angle for that not to work.
Yeah. That was actually really cool. So what happened there was Smashy did the inputs for the grenade jump. However, they landed on the platform on the specific pixel as well as frame. So it ended up causing their grenade jump to get canceled out, which was very, very interesting.
Are you doing Misty right now?
I can't get to Misty. I was trying to.
What, really?
I still have the kill zone, and I don't know. How did you get up? Did you not have the kill zone?
I did a grenade jump from the TP across.
I did too, but
bridge.
then I teleported away. Oh, my RTP.
Oh boy.
So now I'm kind of stuck, I think.
Interesting.
Okay, I can go to Misty.
I could go to Sorrow and come out somehow, but I'm not sure.
I was just going to suggest that. I think that's the best option for you. So using Sorrow Teleporter, falling down the main shaft, and then jumping. Or I actually don't know without air retention if that's going to work. Now that I think about it.
Where is the active kill plane block?
The normal. Just I can't. Like with
Do you
these
want me
skills, I can't.
You can. You just have to pause float. Do you want me to teach you how to pause float?
Oh my god.
It's very simple. It's up to you, Smashy. Whatever.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, okay. No worries. No pressure as well. You guys are doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
I do want to learn how to do it, but maybe not right this moment.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's completely fair. And very honestly, so for chat, there's a lot of different glitches speedrunners can utilize within speedrunning the randomizer. In these settings, we do have a lot of them banned for racing purposes and stuff like that. Pause float is actually one of the most recent forms of tech that allows us to be able to remove the falling down speed. But as we're running, right, as we're speed running in a performance, right, this is a no reset setting for both Smashy as well as Fresh. And so it's important to be able to sort of decide, like, how are they going to adapt, right? What are they going to do? What are they not going to do? And so just like, honestly, oftentimes just sticking to your comfort will reduce the average amount of time it takes to be able to finish whatever seed that you actually end up playing. And so Smashy right there is like, I could learn a new tech, but it's actually going to be smarter for Smashy to just be like, hey, like I'm just gonna do what feels most comfortable, because that is going to reduce the average time that it takes Smashy to be able to work through and finish a seed. So very smart and heads up play by them.
Ooh, good health cell timing. Misty is actually quite awkward with this skill set.
Yeah,
there are lots of places, or a few places that you can do nice grenade jumps, but there are also just tons of these places that are covered with spikes that you just have to take damage for.
Yeah, indeed.
So,
Especially this upcoming section here for Fresh on the right can be really, really tricky to get through. Oh, did you get the weave? No, just so close.
No.
That weave there to avoid that last spike hit that caused Fresh to take a death is actually unbelievably precise. Like, I cannot stress enough. Like, I've spent like thousands of hours speedrunning this game. It's one of the hardest bits of movement that I've ever done within the game to avoid taking damage there. But nicely done from Fresh. They have a lot of health.
And great mega health timing too.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so mega health, a battery of health. It's not permanent, but what it also does is give Fresh a full refill on their health itself. On the left, though, this is going to be important for Smashy. Are they going to be able to break the rocks, leading them to glide as the skill location, which Fresh already did earlier on, but it's going to be allowing Smashy to be able to open up Misty Woods as well. Oh, wow. Nicely done from Smashy. They are able to get over in order to be able to grenade jump there, in order to be able to get over to the rocks. I actually completely forgot. You can just, like, literally touch that wall.
I'm gonna
Smashy, do you want to learn how to pause float? Like, no, Muffin, there's a wall there. It's okay.
Exactly. Or we could just touch the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, on the right, Fresh, I just really want to draw the eyes here. This is going to be the hardest portion of Misty for them, besides maybe the first initial section.
The terrain is so uneven. I'm getting stuck everywhere.
It is, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
those
so
spikes are mean
themselves.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
As you were saying,
they're actually, they're drawn by like groups so that you can actually get stuck in between them. It's not a nice section. But Fresh, just takes a death there at the very final bend. Very close from them, though. Yeah.
I'd rather just weave through here.
Yeah,
Start anew.
Nice. Yeah, and they're able to get the weave that time, so they're able to get through with 4 health remaining. And now all they have to do is actually make it over to that tree. Just one charge jump through the floor, and then they are going to get out. And that is a nice pickup. That is honestly going to make the final escape a million times easier. That is like, I cannot understate that enough. That is very nice.
Yeah, but that's a spot.
That is the spot.
Oh, that's
Where was it?
Oh, I went special.
TP experience.
The TP?
Yeah, TP experience.
I'm heading there.
Sorry,
So I guess we can just try the escape.
Yeah, I think so. Wait, yeah, so, yeah, I think so.
Cool. Honestly, I love this seed because we're going to be showcasing off the final escape without Bash.
Yeah.
And this is like, I mentioned this last seed that like the final escape is my most practiced segment whenever like I compete in tournaments and stuff like that, or races, just simply because there are many different ways to be able to get through the final escape, as well as get through like other areas and get to skill locations and stuff like that, which is one of my favorite aspects of the rando, is that in Ori in particular for the randomizer, there's very few hard locks. There's actually only 2 skills within the entire game that could have pickups hard locked by those, which basically means it is impossible to get certain pickups without having that one skill. And so in Ori, though, there's a bajillion different skill sets that you can utilize to be able to finish out the grand majority of seeds. And so here in this one, this is honestly one of the more starved variants, using grenade jumps without any other power skill, which would be like bash or dash. But instead, they also now have just thankfully found air retention, which basically means that they can stay in the air for longer through double jump. So double jump is like one of those skills in the rando that's not really hard locked not locking any sort of pickups like logically progression wise. There are a couple that are locked by double jump logically, but it's just like, it's the skill that complements every other skill.
If I can interject quick, I'm not going to do much in Horu, but I just want to show off one of the flashier grenade jumps. if I can get this angle.
Sounds good.
Oh, that wasn't it.
That's a little low. Yeah, a little low. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly where you want to
So I do it. Ooh. Nice. Well done. That's so cool. On the left, though, we see Smashy going into the final escape now, coming through the lantern room. Nicely done. Without Bash, that one can be a little bit tricky. But here, this is going to be the room where, honestly, double jump actually does help quite significantly. Because there is going to be a damage boost that Smashy might go for unless they go for the grenade jump.
I took too long. Fine.
Oh, yeah. Fire.
Yeah, the fire.
Yeah, but so it's not just like getting through the sections, but it's getting through them fast enough.
Yeah.
To be able to get through those sections. Smashy could have brute forced it potentially, but no, it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly tight, and taking the death there was pretty much nigh inevitable.
Oh, no.
So Smashy coming back into the lantern room itself. Yeah, getting through. Yeah, that's tough.
It's okay.
We still have poison water, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this seed, you do not have clean water.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's important because in the final escape, there is a section where our runners are going to have to take about 6 damage in order to get through with Ultra Defense that gets cut in half, which is very, very nice for our runners. I didn't know you could climb there. Wow, today I learned another thing.
No escape dash, sadly.
Yeah, but upcoming here is going to be the poison water section on the left for Smashy. So not only that, but there's actually going to be 2 fish that Smashy is going to have to try and avoid to be able to get through. But a bajillion health, right? With Charge Flame especially, it's like one of the few instances where Charge Flame is really useful. And then with double...
Oh no.
Beautiful. That was awesome. Nicely done. So, to emphasize, this is bashless. So there is no basher, and it's dashless, and it's very hard to do this without bash. Bash is like, it makes it really comfy cozy, and definitely having that double jump is making it really, really a lot more realistic to do this elemental room. Nicely done. And so, yeah, it's just amazing to watch these 2 runners showcase this game in different ways, and that's why I love the randomizer.
Oh no, not the fish damage!
Revenge of the Fish!
Sea flame.
Okay, okay, so what do I need to do here?
So you can either so go a little bit higher. Yeah, there you go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So basically you can grenade jump there, or you can charge jump right after the wispy fog that's coming up from the ground. You'll notice the silver fog.
Wait, I can triple jump around the corner. Right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I think that's going to be the easier one than going for the grenade jump. Yeah, cool. Sorry, chat. Just various rando strats.
Were you guys enjoying the elemental bounce?
Yeah, that's Zemsis is definitely smiling somewhere. So basically, when you stomp on an enemy, that doesn't cause you to go through. There's specific enemies you can stomp off of, which causes you to bounce upwards. After you do that, that causes you to refresh all of your stuff, including double jump. So there, Fresh just stomped off the elemental to be able to get the double jumps back, to be able to retain themselves in air and get over. So nicely done. Very cool tech that we don't really see all that often, if not at all.
The fish.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, so just hold right after the charge jump. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Well done.
And is it right here? Oh wait, no.
Oh, careful of climb storage. Never mind. It may be nothing.
Oh, wait. You're scaring me.
Okay, no, you're fine. You're
I
fine. Okay,
haven't done this in so long.
You removed it. Yeah, you had climb storage there. I'll talk to you after the cast because it is incredibly weird, and I
don't know how
even
precise
don't
this
fully
is.
understand.
But... Oh no!
No!
That's all right.
Okay, so
close enough.
Yeah, covert. That a lot happened there.
Yes. Okay. So they soft locked. That wasn't because of climb storage. It was just a bad position, I think.
Yeah. I think so.
But yeah. Do you want to try again, Fresh, or do you want to just be?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. We'll call time. So time. Our runners are done. Well played.
GG. Nothing bad happened. This is actually the credits skip. Straight to the black screen.
Oh no.
Basically credits. I'll take it.
Thank you for showcasing both of those scenes, and yeah, that was so. I had a lot of fun, and thank my friends to coming on the show and showcasing the Ori and the Blind Forest randomizer. It was honestly, the Master Seed is very impressive to me how fast you still beat that one, especially with what you had to deal with. But in the meantime, though, I wanted to. Was there any shout outs or anything you would like to say? I'm gonna go with Fresh first.
Shout outs to the Ori community. As they said, everyone's been super welcoming, and they're a great group of people. And shout outs to the devs for the Rando. I think Sigma, you said, was the main one. You can see them all in Smashy's credits, I'm sure, but they put a ton of work into this, and yeah, they did a fantastic job. And shout outs to you, Rue, for putting on the show.
Aw, thank you. And was there anyone like any other shout outs or anything? And Smashy, the same question for you.
Yeah, you took my answer, but yes, the Ori community. I always shout them out after like runs and stuff. So, but yeah, literally, this game changed my life, and I probably wouldn't be running it anymore unless it were for the Ori community. So, yeah, they're awesome.
Oh yeah, I should also shout out my own community. Shout out the Dust Force people. Play Dust Force. Good game. This game is
actually, yeah, it's one of my favorite speed games of all time. Like, Dust Force is amazing. It's really good. Yeah, so I guess other shoutouts is, yeah, the community. Like, I mean, you folks took the words right out of my mouth. But that being said, once again, you don't need to speedrun if you want to try out the Rando for yourself. It's completely free. All you have to do is go to orirando.com, and then up above, there's going to be a list of helpful tabs and links, especially like, I mean, the downloads one to download the DLL, you just have to swap out a quick file. But then also there's a start playing tab, which allows you to just dive in without having to do much or anything like for setup and purposes and stuff like that. But yeah, major shout outs to the devs. This is still getting actively worked on by the community. We have a link to our Discord as well on orirando.com, or if you go to speedrun.com/ori_DE. But also in this upcoming Games Done Quick marathon, Primarix is going to be running all skills, no out of bounds, no teleport anywhere, and I will be on couch for that one. He's been practicing a lot. We've been practicing comms and stuff. It's been really, really fun. And so I'm very looking forward to that. But yeah, Ruth, thank you so much for bringing Ori back to GDQ Hotfix. It's an extreme honor for me, especially to be able to celebrate an incredible speed game. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody. And I love you all. I love the Ori fam. definitely have to watch that at the SGDQ coming up. SGDQ is going to be going on from the 28th to the 4th. So definitely check out the stream then. And we also have more events coming up. And to give a quick answer to the question in chat, Ori and the Blind Forest DE is Definitive Edition. It's just an abbreviation for that. But yes, I wanted to shout out to all y'all doing the showcase. Did an amazing job. Love you all. And I want to shout out to all the GD Cuties in chat and for being here, and the Ori community, and the staff and tech crew. Y'all amazing. And thank you, everyone. And I hope you all have a wonderful Friday night and stay cutiful. And I'll be back not in 2 weeks, because that is SGDQ. I'll be back after SGDQ. But stay tuned. We always have more hot fix, and we always have more to come. So that is it for the night for Legally Cute. But I will be back after SGDQ. You all have a good one and stay cute.